Yo, David Zazlav, penny pinching, prick in the corner off his throne. Sitting on Warner Bros. Discovery like it's your personal drone. From HBO, go to Discovery Channel, Shark Week trash. You got it the Dream Factory, now you're flipping it for cash. Stocks popping like cheap Viagra, up 11% to $20 a pop. But we know it's all smoke, cause your empire about to drop. Alright, fuck that noise, it's quarterly reports and shareholder jerk-offs. You shelf bad girl for a tax write-off, now the whole damn shop's up for auction block. The penny pinchers, gospels, as of you slimy soup with your Discovery merger scam. Bought the farm with cable corpses, now you're selling off the land. Chop HBO Max to a skeleton crew, ex-bad girl mid-flight. Too woke you whine, but really it was just too much light on your book. 90 mil down the drain for a flick that flew higher than your ethics in the rain. You can't coyote verse Amy Scoop, holiday harm, bury them deep while streamers feast on slop. You make creators we irreverent, not truthful. You're a vulture in Versace, feasting on IPs like Lois Lane on Lex Luthor's dice. He split the company, streaming in studios from cable's rusty chains. One half for the gram, the other for geriatrics pains. 30 a share, dream on, you greedy goblin that listens at 24. Rejected like you're chasing scripts, leaving you begging for more. Cast aside like bad girl's corpse.
It's Warner Bros. Discovery, it's easy to toss this bad girl's dusty reel. Shelf it for a buck, watch the magic lose its feel. Zazlav sell out symphony, money over muse. Fuck the fans, fuck the films, it's all about them blows.
Yeah, easy as pie, or tax dodge lie. Cast aside worldwide, while the suits get high. Art bleeds out in the gutter, you sip champagne tears. Zazlav legacy, a garage sale of Hollywood sphere. Bit of beef and Trump ties in a David Ellison, Skydance silver spoon. Son of Larry's loot, fakey 7 bill bid too low, you say back to the drawing shoot. Apollo and Redbird circling like sharks in a tank. Hostile takeover whispers, nah, you fall like a prank. Comcast lurking quiet, Robert's Eye and Universal's mate. Peacock and HBO mashup, sounds like fate's cruel bait. Netflix or rando smirk, we grow our own weeds, bitch. No full bite, just cherry pick your corpse if it twitches. And Trump, oh the Donald's your deregulation daddy. Zazlav schmoozing for murders, hoping he lifts the caddy. Larry Ellison's go pee, ghost, grease the wheels for the win. But it's all biz, no bromance, just power plays and sin. You leverage the orange man's ego for antitrust, green lights. While creators starve, you feast on political delights. Art assassins rose with it. You're a clown in the crowns, Zazlav, Reverend King of the Cut. Slash 4,000 jobs, turned WB into a budget butt. Fuck, bad girl's not the villain, you were shelving stories for spreadsheets supreme. Desire for dollars drowns the drama, kills the dream. Uncensored truth, you're a hack with a Harvard wink. Making money moves that make Michelangelo sing. From the Batman shadows to Doom Sandy Sprawl, you tell them all for a eye, watch the sequel stall. Penny pincher extraordinaire, hard black as the Flash's flop. Your board's a circle jerky, yes man, non-stop.
My final spit and question drop.
So here's the mic drop.
Your empire's eBay fodder now.
Bit of swarm like flies on shit.
Taking their bow.
Stock sir, temporary high like coke in the sea swoop. But when the gavel falls, you'll be tweeting defeat. One last gut punch curry, etched in raps raw vein. Is Warner Bros. Discovery as easy to cast aside as they did with the Bad Girl movie? Yeah, we know the answer, trash or quit, no remorse, no groove, fuck your flip. Zazlav, Hollywood soul ain't for sale, you lose.
Echo the cannon.
Yo, David Zazlav.
Hey, what the hell is going on, everyone? How y'all doing? Welcome back, Hollywood After Dark. After fucking dark, it is, of course, Tuesday the 21st of October. God, we got 10 more days till Halloween. How did it get here so fast? Like, I feel like I haven't watched as many horror movies as I'd like. I did watch, what I watched the other day. I watched Don't Breathe, which was really good. I really liked Don't Breathe. And then I remembered the sequel. And I went, what? Like, okay. Like, that's a fucking movie. I need to watch that still, but god damn. A lot going on, you know. I thought about doing, I don't know, this David Zaslav thing bothered me. I guess I could have probably talked about the Star Wars bit with Adam Driver. I'm sure we'll get to that. Never mind all the other nonsense going on with Hollywood right now. But no, man, David Zazzy is he's literally the devil. He is the devil in what appears to be flame nipple costuming right there. God, Jesus, Gemini, what are you doing to me here? You're making me out to be a perv. All right, let's take a look here at the Chizzy chat. What's going on, David? How you doing? Joey, how's it going? David says song is fire. Yeah, I just made that real quick, or had that made real quick. Joey here says, I still can't believe John Campea loves David Zaslav. Campea is a conservative. You have to understand that. Like, he's not right-wing. He's not politically right-wing. I wouldn't say so. He's politically right-wing. But he is definitely a conservative. Robert Meyer Burnett is like definitely he's more on the conservative side of things than that. So the thing with the John Campea show is as pro entertainment industry as you can get without being bought and paid for. Because he burned all those bridges, but you can't look. You can take like the whore off the streets, but you can't take the whore out the girl, right? You know what I mean? I fucked up that line. What's the word from Don't Be a Menace? You could take dashiki out the hood, but you can't take them hood blank out dashiki. It's that kind of shit. Where it's like someone like John Campea has been in the game for so long, all he sees is the business. I'm in that weird space where like, I like the business. I look at things from the business perspective, but at the same time, I just want people to like tell stories. And I'm just going to say it right now. I probably should have said it earlier. Netflix buying Warner Brothers is probably the best thing that could happen, because otherwise, a lot of those IPs are just going to sit stagnant with anybody else. And also, tell me another company that is making movies right now that puts out as many as Netflix does. We're talking like one a week. I think they're scaling back a little bit. But Netflix has put out so many smaller voices have been heard because of Netflix. But because they're streaming, so many people are just like, it's not the same. And look, some are good, some aren't very good. But let's be fair here. Something like Red Notice would have come out with or without Netflix if they weren't footing the bill. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would have gone to theaters, and it did go to theaters, and it did so poorly in theaters back in 2021. 2021. It did so poorly that Netflix decided to not report the numbers. But earlier in 2021, in May of 2021, when they dropped Army of the Dead in 400 Cinemark theaters, that movie made around, like, I want to say over 760,000 that they reported. Red Notice, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who everyone tells me is the greatest movie star, the biggest movie star that we have. He's not. I've proven that beyond a reasonable doubt at this point. But you had Ryan Reynolds and Gal Gadot in theaters. I don't even think squeaked much over $400,000. All right. I'm just saying. If you want movies, if you want story, you got to ask. This is the thing I want you to ask yourself. Legit ask yourself. Do you want stories? Do you want movies? Or do you want the theater? Because if you want the theater, you're going to get Fantastic Four, Superman, F1, Sinners, Mission Impossible. Okay, you're gonna get like studio made shit. Not that that's bad. Not that that's bad in any way. But if you want actual like voices and actual stories that aren't just coming from the same cadre of people, you're gonna want to go to places like Netflix, like Hulu, like Amazon, like Shudder. That's where you're getting those voices right now. And so it is the downside when we talk about Warner Brothers being bought and sold. And a quick buck, make no fucking mistake. This isn't about the arts for him. But it's kind of like, there's still businesses to look at here, right? Amazon already acquired MGM. I don't think, although MGM at the time wouldn't be considered a major studio. I think MGM had been downgraded to like mini major, but either way, that was an $8 billion acquisition, you know. And they might start putting some stuff in theaters, more so. I think they've put a couple things in theaters. But what I'm saying here is that, you know, look at War of the Worlds, right? That movie was not great. I found it to be entertaining, but it wasn't great. And that movie, you know, like was grossly overreported for its budget and had like 75 million people who watched it. It was like in the top. It's still in the top, I think, of Amazon movies. So do you want to make money or do you want people to see it? Because that is now the question. That is now where we are. That is now what we have to contend with. And that's an honest thing for you guys to have your own personal take with. And I see the super chats from Garrick. Thank you, buddy. I'm gonna get to those here in just a second. But that's what I'm talking about. Is we are in a position right now where you have to ask yourself, are you wanting to be entertained or are you wanting to hold on to something because it's brought you joy in the past, but cannot financially sustain itself anymore? And that's kind of where we are with theaters. I hate to say it, I'm not trying to be the bearer of bad news. I'm not trying to poo-poo on anyone's parade. I don't think theaters are ever going to go away. But as I said in my video earlier, Hollywood is changing. Movie theaters now are more designed to be an advertisement for digital, which has a higher profitability threshold than going to the theaters. If a movie does well theatrically, then yeah, it's a gamble. The studio makes money. Everyone makes money. Everyone is happy. But when you've got everything else that's going on, when you've got everything else that's been happening with the industry, can you really honestly, and I mean this truly, honestly, put that question to yourself and come up with that same answer that you've been given, right? Like, look at it way past emotion. Look at it as fucking logic and rationality. I'll say this though, and I'll get to the super chats there. But one of the things, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier because I re-recorded that video like 4 times, the one that I put out today. If you're wondering why I was on camera, real quick, I wanted to test it for 1, and 2. I love these glasses, but I hate the fact that there's no like reflective coating. There's nothing that like lessens the intensity of the reflection. So I've got to like put it. I can't, it's so hard to look directly at the camera because you just see like the ring light and it drives me up the wall. But anyway, it says K-pop Demon Hunters would not have done as well theatrically if it would have been released there first. You know what I'm saying? It would not be the phenomenon that it is had it not been released on Netflix when it did. It hit at the right time. If we hit it in theaters, it would not have done as much. It would have done well, probably, but it would have found its audience on home video. But I don't think it would have dominated as much as it did. And which is my theory is now build the movie's popularity on social media and then put it in theaters, and then people will go see it like it's an event. You have to justify the expense, you have to justify the experience, and you have to justify the time. Because real quick here, because Valhalla Erickson here says, what should theaters need to do to win back its customers? I mean, the easiest answer is lower the prices, right? But they can't do that because movie budgets keep increasing, which means that there's the higher onus on the consumer to go and see the movie in order for it to turn a profit theatrically, which is its best way of earning back its money up front. Okay, like there's no denying that. But then what you've got is the fact that the theaters get like half of that for the first little bit. So that's how they stay afloat. But then the profitability for the studios are lesser. And so it just keeps kind of like, you know, chipping away. Now, the obvious answer is lessen movie budgets, right? Bring them down. And they should bring them down. But they're not doing that. And then the question becomes why? It's because everyone's getting their cut up front. is what I think is happening. I think producers are getting their cut up front. I think everybody's getting paid up front, which is largely a streaming service model. Netflix like prepays everybody. That's why the budgets are so high, because there's no points on the back end. And I think that's one of the biggest problems, right? You have so many things that are VFX heavy. VFX costs a lot of money, but practical effects are something that a lot of people really just love. And practical effects can be done in a way that are going to be not only endearing, but, you know, believable and entertaining. But then again, a lot of the VFX work that gets done in other countries does also get subjected to the tax credits that those countries offer for productions to go there. And so we here in this country probably need to like lessen the budgets on films and also find ways to do VFX cheaper, but we're just an expensive culture to live in. That's just the reality of it. So they film it in everywhere but California. Never mind, California is trying to, I think, open up like 30 some $1 million. Maybe not, maybe more than that. I got to look at the headline again from Deadline. I saw it today very briefly. But they're trying to open up more money for the tax incentives so they can have more productions in California, which is where the business is. So either the business needs to understand that it's untenable in its current environment, which it absolutely is, and needs to move to like Atlanta or New Orleans or Albuquerque. That's a big one, by the way. Or it needs to find ways to like really, really, really lessen how much everything costs. Because once those budgets go as high as they are, it's still on the onus of the theaters to make up the majority of that money coming back in, right? The return on investment, which then means it's up to the consumer to be able to then want to go and justify that expense. And a lot of movies these days simply do not justify that expense or do not sell it to you properly. That's all I'm saying is like everything that's not like prime time should be like $5. You know what I'm saying? Like everything should be. Or if you're not going to do it, have the first couple weeks, have your FOMO stuff for the first couple weeks that has your higher ticket price, and then after that it just drops week to week, which I've already suggested multiple times. And people will go either early on because of FOMO, if the movie's good enough FOMO, but otherwise they'll wait. And then if they have fun, then they'll go, well, you know what? I really want to go back a little sooner than before. So then they'll justify paying the higher price because they've enjoyed the experience. But then the experience in the theater itself also needs to be something that is going to be very consumer friendly. People are animals in theaters now. They're fucking animals. They're disgusting. They talk on their phone. They surf the web. They have no respect for other people. They talk loudly to their associates. They trash the theater, and they make it an overall annoying experience. Why am I paying top dollar to listen to someone else's conversation about hemorrhoid cream while the fucking movie is going? And then people are too afraid to stand up and say anything because they so goddamn fear fucking confrontation. People do. They fear confrontation. They absolutely fear the idea of getting into it with somebody else. Me, I lived for that shit when I was working theaters, man. I mean, granted, I had like the righteous indignation because I was a manager, right? And I was a bit of a prick at times, I'll fully admit. But I always put the customer first. I always put the experience first because you have to maintain that level. Okay, let me explain it to you guys like this because this is exactly what I'm fucking talking about, okay? When I was managing my theater in San Diego, the drive-in, as well as the Regency Academy 6 in Pasadena, one of the things I got into my boss with in the Regency was he was like, why are you a dick to customers? He asked me that once. He's like, why are you not nice? And I'm like, I'm nice to customers. I will not put up with bullshit. And I don't think we should honor bullshit. I don't think we should accept it. I don't think we should bend over backwards for it. We need to show the other customers that we've got our shit in check. And he's like, yeah, but what about the people that if you're a dick to, they go tell their friends about it and they don't come here? And I'm like, do you really want friends of those people coming here anyway? No, you don't. But I'd rather show people who are already here spending their money that we've got their best intention in mind, that we want to make sure that they have a good, grand, glorious time here, even if it's $2 a ticket. Doesn't matter if it's $2 or $20. The experience matters, which means you have to get up. You have to put on your big boy pants. You got to go into the theater, you got to find the troublemaker, and you got to kick them the fuck out. And you got to make it a scene. You got to show dominance. You got to whip the dick out, fucking flop it on their goddamn feet. It is a dick measuring contest of epic proportions. And there's a reason for that. Because you have to establish the dominance. So the other customers that are there feel like their time and their money and their value is protected, rather than being fearful of going and having a shitty experience. And that whole bend over backwards for the bad actors, that has had consequences, because people now are like, I don't want to go deal with other people because other people fucking suck. There used to be etiquette. There used to be upholding of etiquette. We don't uphold the etiquette anymore. And as a result of that, people have just stopped going. Why? Because you cannot justify the expense and the time wasted for a shitty experience. And that's not even talking about like the cleanliness of the theater, the cleanliness of the screens, the fact that the fucking sound isn't properly calibrated, because oftentimes it's just an assistant manager with no actual projection or sound experience working on all of this stuff. So there's no fine tuning. It's just like, oh, everything is loaded up. Let's just press the button and that's it. There's no art to projectionism anymore. To being a projectionist. There's no art. And not even to say like when I did it, there was art, but I'll tell you though, if I could make a good splice, you would never even know that it was spliced. That, my friends, when you're in a hurry and you're working against the clock and it's dark frames, fuck, that's art. That's skill. And I did that shit pretty fucking well. Granted, I probably fucked up in the first place, which is why I had to do it. But hey, listen, I make the problems and then I fix them. But that's what I'm talking about here. You want to know what movie theaters have to do in order to get people back? Nut the fuck up. I said this to my bosses, and we did it at the drive-in. We absolutely did it at the drive-in, and it worked. It worked fucking wonders. We would have 1,000 cars, 4,000 to 6,000 people, sold out nights, drunk ass motherfuckers, high ass motherfuckers. And the drunks could be parents too. Quite often parents and shit were really fucking hammered. But people came in droves all the time. Why? Because we created an environment. I created a fucking environment. And I took a lot of time to do this. Where we had law and we had order. And people knew what to expect when they went in. And then when I left, when I moved, my predecessor, love the guy, is a stoner and didn't want to do any of the shit that I spent years establishing in our heyday years. I'm talking going from like when I first started working there in 2001, we did $650,000 for the whole year. And that was considered a banner year. A couple years later, we were pressing 1 million. Then we got up to like 4 million. That's increased numbers that we did without really increasing our prices. And I was the boots on the ground manager that was controlling all of that shit. I made sure people parked in the right spot. I made sure the lights were turned off. I made sure that I had twine cut so we could give it to people to tie down their hatchbacks so they wouldn't block people behind them. It requires fucking effort to make an experience good for your clients. And I put a lot of fucking emphasis on that shit, and we were doing goddamn gangbusters. Never mind the fact, and this is the other thing too, we had zero issues with people, right? We kept everything in-house. If there was a problem, we'd get rid of the people, we'd do it quickly, we'd get people out of there, everything else, because I never had to call the cops. And if I ever had to call the cops, they would come immediately because I'm the one that called. That was the relationship that I built with the sheriff's department. The deputies, people would smoke weed and drink out in the open there. The cops knew it, but they stayed the fuck away. Why? Because we never bothered them. We created such an experience where people could drink, smoke, or fuck. But as long as they weren't bothering anybody else and they kept to themselves and they watched the fucking movie, everyone got along. And my whole point for ranting about this is that is what it fucking takes. It requires effort and it requires ingenuity, and it requires people to give a fuck. But the problem, though, is that a lot of these places are fucking corporate, and they don't fucking care. So no, I don't feel bad that theaters are dying because they're not doing goddamn fuck all to save themselves. Investing in large premium format does fucking nothing for me. Does fucking nothing for me. My favorite movie theater is the New Bev on La Brea in LA. It's Quentin Tarantino's theater. It's single screen, 35 millimeter, and the seats are old and have springs poking through them. But god damn it if it didn't give me some of the best fucking experiences I've had going to the movies. It doesn't matter what kind of theater it is if the environment is protected. And if people feel that their value and their time and their money is all being respected. Sorry, I didn't. That got me. Dude, that got me. That got me fucking talking about that shit. All right. Let me jump up here. Thank you. Okay. Blue Jay, member for 31 months. Thanks, buddy. Didn't you were happy on Twitter, right? Like your people, your team was doing good. The Toronto team, right? Did they beat the Mariners? Because I think I heard I don't give a fuck about sports. I mean, I hope you're happy, but it's like I was driving people and they're asking me about the Mariners, and I'm like, I got no fucking idea. You know, I'm in Seattle and they're asking, and you know, and then I'm like, they're in Toronto. That's what I heard. That's the only reason. Anyway, what's up, dude? How you doing? Thank you. All right, Garrick here for 10. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you. What do you think of Jonathan McIntosh and his pop culture detective channel? I find it fascinating how his videos still pull in views while Feminist Frequency channel shriveled up and died. So here's the thing about Jonathan McIntosh. Jonathan McIntosh is a true believer. Anita was only the mouthpiece. That's why Anita's initial videos that he worked on were more hard-hitting than the ones after he left. Jonathan is the true believer. So because of that, his work will speak for itself. Okay, but look at what he talked about. Like, I haven't looked at his channel in a while, but he had a video about the Big Bang Theory. The Big Bang Theory was like one of I think the biggest sitcom on TV for like a number of years. So it's going to have people looking for that kind of shit. All right, when you're talking about, it's like when Quentin Reviews does like a 7-hour iCarly video. People really like iCarly. And his videos are so long, like nauseatingly long, that it just ends up like drawing in a lot of people. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of what it is. Personally, I can't stand Jonathan McIntosh for a number of reasons, many of which are cultural. And personal, I think he's a dick. But to me, it's really funny that he left Feminist Frequency and Anita Sarkeesian is now no longer doing anything like that because she just wants to be a paid talking head. And, you know, I mean, if that's where her career goes, good for her, but I don't know what's happening with that. And he's, you know, I don't know if he's still making videos or not. So if he is, I guess good for him. He's made it work. Eric here says, okay, how can the movie theaters make a comeback? I mean, outside of all my rantings, I just saw you yield to Super Chat. The biggest thing to do is make it customer first. Lower the prices for the ticket sales. If not, have more value days. If you can't lower overall, have more value days. And then definitely like tie those value days into cheaper concessions. You know, because people will justify going if like they can get, you know, like when I go with my kids, like let's say K-pop Demon Hunters, it was like $12.50 a ticket times 4. So it's $48. Then 2 large popcorns for us to share, which was like another, I think like $15 because I have like a deal with them. So that was like well over $60 for a 2-hour movie I could have watched at home and could have made popcorn for free, or at least for very, very, very cheap. You know, we did it. It was fun. And I don't regret the experience because my daughters had a good time. I had a good time, and that's what I care about. But at the same time, it's like, would we do this more often? No, we wouldn't because the cost is too damn high. So you got to make it cheaper. Or you've got to find ways to like make it more entertaining. Like I said, have a trivia night before a movie starts. Have a comedian come on in and do a set before a comedy. And anyone who bitches about that shit, dude, fucking, you know, Adam Sandler used to be the opening comedian for the Cosby Show. Did you guys know that? Adam Sandler used to be the opening comedian for the fucking Cosby Show back in the day. He would be the guy going out there and making the audience laugh before the live studio taping. All right. So yeah, you can make it work. It's just finding the right angle. Thank you for Eric. Also Garrick here. Yeah, but how many of those Netflix movies are actually worth watching? A lot of it's a streaming slop. One man's trash is another man's treasure. How many How many movies that come out to theaters are shit? All right. But then you get some good ones like fucking, was it Dumplin' on Netflix is great. The Jennifer Aniston cheerleading movie, or it's fucking great. Or pageant movie, really great. You know, Morbius came out in theaters. Shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it doesn't matter. Okay, and you say that they're streaming slop, but have you watched them or have you just looked at the Rotten Tomato score? Okay, critics, in my opinion, give streaming movies lower scores because there's no pomp and circumstance, right? There's no pageantry about it, right? When they get brought out to like a press screening, they'll get like soda, they'll get fucking popcorn, they might get some HWAD, they might get stuff sent to them after the fact, right? They can wheel and deal and you know be dined by the studio when that doesn't really happen with the streaming movies. And so they are looking at, and this is just my take on it, they view them as lesser because of that. Now, Netflix and Hulu and Amazon, they'll do more of that now for some of their bigger films, which makes sense, right? You want to build up the press. But I'd say, honestly, look what James Gunn did today, man. Going talking to Boba Talks and that other people, right? He went out there and had conversations with YouTubers because they're going to have direct access to the audience. And the audience that's going to be engaged for lanterns and everything else. Although I find it kind of weird that he did it now and not like closer to the end of the year, like, or closer to lanterns coming out. But, you know, hey, whatever, right? He's at this point now, James Gunn is going to be the figurehead for DC. He's going to be out there, you know, hitting the pavement, promoting the other stuff coming out next year while he is still getting ready to film Man of Tomorrow and whatever else comes along. So, I mean, it's just like that. Garrick also says, do you think Eric July will try to expand the Rippaverse and include movies and TV shows, or do I think the Rippaverse will end before then? I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that right now. I know to some extent he is, like, I know he's teaming up with, Geeks and Gamers to do like the merchandise stuff. He's probably going to end up becoming like a third-party drop shipper for these other grifters, because they're all going to have to consolidate. I think they are all consolidating right now, because the grift is, I think, dying, right? It's not dead, but it's definitely dying. There's no growth. There's no growth. The apex has happened. Maybe by the time we get around to Mandalorian and Grogu, when they'll find a way to bitch about no Gina Carano. But I mean, that's also not until, like, you know, next May, but otherwise they don't really have much to complain about. And so I don't know what's going on with the Rippaverse. I haven't looked. It's so boring to me. You know what I mean? Like, it's not interesting. Eric July is a terrible storyteller. Also, Garrick, thank you, says, but Matt, Trump's movie tariffs will save the American film industry. Yeah, no shit. Yeah. Yeah, it's tariffs. I'm going to tariff every movie not made in America. What does that even mean? Let's see here. Valhalla Erickson. Thank you. TV shows need to go back to the 20 episode format. It depends on the TV show. Half-hour comedies, absolutely, could do that. Prestige television, 13 episodes is fine. Well, it doesn't need to be 20 episodes. It needs to, well, I mean, they could do 20 episodes, but they have to space it out properly. This like 2-3 year wait in between seasons, that's the problem. It's not necessarily like the length of the episodes or how many episodes there are. It's the wait in between. You know, it's like, what was it? 2024 was that? Was that when fucking Stranger Things, or was that into 2023? I forget now, right? But it's been like, no, I think it was 2023 because they had the strikes and everything else. And then we finally get the last 8 episodes. Now, but we're also hearing that Netflix spent like $60 million an episode for these 10 episodes or something like that. You know, so the budgets are insanely high, and then there's no residuals in regards to like network television syndication rights where they can sell that, where like the networks will buy it. You know, like to give you an example, Big Bang Theory syndication rights were $1 billion. $1 billion for the syndication rights to Big Bang Theory. Do you know what its streaming rights were sold for? the exact same amount of money. So like everyone involved with the Big Bang Theory that gets residuals is literally set for life. I think there's a reason why you haven't seen Raj in anything since that show. Not only because he sucked, but because he doesn't have to work anymore. Kaylee Cuoco and like Jim Parsons or like and Melissa Rauch, whatever her name is. They're the only ones that have really gone on to do anything. Even Johnny Galecki hasn't done shit. Why would he? Why would he? They were making over $1 million an episode by the end there. You know, we're talking 20 some $1 million a season, never mind all the residuals. He's like Scrooge McDucking it right now. But no, TV shows need to be more consistent. We're talking 13 episodes for a cable show once per year. Okay. And I'll tell you the other thing too. TV shows, showrunners, or whatever, like whenever they sell a pilot to a network or something, have to have a clause in there for a wrap-up episode. That should be like fucking not even a question, right? And the reason why they do that is because so many shows end on a cliffhanger or just end without any kind of resolution. And there's another reason why people take a little bit of time to get into a new show, because they're afraid of it being canceled without getting that resolution. It literally is a cortisol situation. Like cortisol is what, like the pain receptor. So there is literal studies have been done to showcase physical pain people experience when a show that they love is canceled without resolution, or a character that they love in a show or a movie or a book or whatever is killed. They feel that physical pain, like they lost someone that they really truly care about. That's the biggest fucking problem with all of this, is that these stories are designed for us to care. They are designed for us to be engaged with, enthralled with, to love, all of these things. And then just without any warning, it's ripped away. And eventually that, I think, leaves enough scar tissue for people to just kind of like become numb to it, right? Just to become numb to it, because they're like, what's the fucking point, right? What's the fucking point? You know, they spend all this money, all this time, all of this shit. And if I don't get to it right away, or if I do get to it right away, but it doesn't have time to build an audience because there's so much content to watch, that I'm supposed to just fucking like, you know, like just be okay with it being canceled. These are promises that these companies, these studios, these productions make to their fans. Promises that don't get kept. But we're supposed to fucking, you know, I don't know. I'm tired of it. I personally am tired of it. Spherical Man, what's up, buddy? Says, does Netflix buying Warner Brothers increase theatrical prominence? No, it does not. It does not. But what it does give them is the ability to have all that content fed into an AI training model. No, it won't increase the prominence. But like I've said, until theaters make the attempt to fix the problem, then it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. All right. Again, would you rather watch it or would you rather not? Like tonight, for example, my daughter comes in and she's like, Dad, can we watch a movie? And I was like, okay, you know, put on a movie and whatnot. And I'm like, what do you want to watch? I'm sort of thumbing through Netflix. She picked TMNT Mutant Mayhem. I was like, all right, cool. We get about 40 minutes in and then it's time for her to go to bed, but we're going to finish watching it tomorrow. And I'm watching this movie like, fuck, this movie's good. I saw it in theaters and shit, but I'm like, God damn, this movie's good. The movie's fucking great. I can't wait for the sequel, which now comes out in like 2027. It was supposed to come out at the end of next year, but they pushed it back to 2027. That's too goddamn long. Like, are those kids' voices? I mean, they probably already recorded their lines and shit, but I hope they would have recorded the lines for the third movie as well. Because, like, yeah, they're teens, but eventually them balls gonna drop. It's just, you know, evolution of the body. But no, it's not gonna increase that. All right. Let's see. Garrick asking, what did I think of those Boogie clips? I actually did not watch all of them. I kind of thumbed through it because it just seemed like another Boogie crash out. Also, I was at work, so it was kind of like I didn't have a lot of time. Yeah, it's like I said to you, Boogie 2988 at this point is just waiting for death. There's no other. He's so broken. He's so buck broken by Keemstar. and he's just waiting to die. And so he will debase himself and humiliate himself and do everything in his power to be a fucking bootlicker for Keemstar until the day he dies. And at that point, he will have the sweet relief that he so desperately wants. It's very sad, and I don't like it. It's very sad because I like Boogie. I do. But he doesn't. He could rebuild. He could rebuild. He could do the Francis videos. He could do his thoughtful commentary shit. He could, but he is a manipulator, right? And I think that's so well known now. It'd be difficult to go back to the Mr. Rogers of YouTube, but he'll never have a moment where he goes to the Video Game Awards and gets like best streamer and everyone's going to cheer him. It was just like he let his emotions and he let his antics get the best of him. And it's just like, but the thing is, though, it happens to so many people that are terminally online 24/7. I understand that better than most because it twists your worldview. And you start taking this shit way too fucking seriously. But then you look at like what happened over at TwitchCon over the weekend with that guy walking up and trying to kiss that girl. The other assaults that have happened to you, to Charlie Kirk, for example. I mean, like, there's so fucking much that's gone on that, people, I can understand it. I can understand it. Honestly, it would probably better the world so much if we just like got rid of YouTube. Andrew, member 38 months, thank you, says, he says, if you think people are mad about no resolution from cancellation, just wait until they have it to resolve a show in a single episode. At least it gives you something. At least it gives you something. Look, man, fucking, what was it? How I Met Your Mother filmed a finale with the kids that were there when they were filming the first season in case they got canceled. They could then throw in the finale to wrap the whole thing up. They thought ahead. All right. But they have it be like a wrap up movie or some shit like that. You know what I mean? But put the money in the budget to like wrap up a storyline. It's way better than just having it cut off. People might be mad, but they'll have closure. And it's something. It's something better. All right. Thank you guys for letting me play catch up with the chat here. Ricky Berwick has taken over Sora. Yeah. I was watching a Sora 2 slop video last night. I was laughing my fucking ass off. I saw one with Ricky Berwick. It's pretty good. It would be Game of Thrones season 8 on steroids. Dude, Game of Thrones season 8 wasn't bad. Okay, it's overhated. Let's see. Mo here says Monk got a movie as a type for the series. Yeah, exactly. This is here. It says cartoons before 2010s was expensive because of hand-drawn animation, but now we have computers that help with that. Oh yeah, and soon we're gonna have AI that's absolutely gonna make it so much easier. Holy shit, dude! Like, I am very excited for when we finally get the AI pipeline going on with some of these things, because we're gonna start seeing like these animated shows just come out so much faster. All right. Let me see. Push it further back to 2046. Yes. Why not? Okay. David here says, I think 5 to 7 seasons is a perfect number of seasons. I would go as far as to say 5. If you can't tell your story in 5 seasons, that's a problem. But they need to do it in 5 seasons. Many shows need that one, right? Let's see. Blargan, what's up, buddy? Spawn HBO ended almost 30 years ago, and I'm still pissed at the hell of a cliffhanger. Hey, man, but you have the movie. I just got the 4K like last week. Let's see. This is here says Netflix still rules the streaming service everywhere. Yeah, that's very true. Let's see. Cuoco and Galecki are now shilling for phone games. I mean, it's easy money. But hey, you got to admit though, Kaylee Cuoco has gone out and like actually like, she's done a couple of like The Flight Attendant. There was that true crime show. There's a fair amount of shit that she's done. That's pretty good. Let's see. Garrick for 5. Thank you, buddy. Says, which Dwayne Johnson movies actually deserve a sequel? The Rundown. Rampage? Maybe. That's really about it. Now, I don't think Red Notice deserves a sequel. I will say, though, that twist at the end of Red Notice I really liked. But I don't think Red Notice or Red 1 deserves it. I mean, Red 1 I actually really enjoyed. I didn't think Red 1 was bad. But I don't think, I think if he wants a franchise, go back to the Rundown. That was like, that or go back and do Scorpion King 2, man. Fucking go back and just finish it up, man. Make him the bad guy. Make him the heel. Make him what Black Adam was supposed to be. Let's do that one right there. Fourth here says 3 seasons is Act 1, 2, and 3 done. Yeah, that could be pretty good too. CJ says Simpsons, The Office, and Walking Dead would have been canceled long ago had they come out today. I mean, yeah, maybe. The Simpsons probably should have already been canceled a long time ago, but there's so much money that's made. So much money. Fox is just afraid to cancel it. But I think when the when the cast starts to die off, again, the AI stuff is going to kick in. Rational for 5, thank you. Says, watch all these people say, watch all these people who say they will boycott movies that use AI will change their tune when 75% of Hollywood productions use AI. Dude, it's the same thing with like CG and shit. Like one of my favorite things is watching a lot of those people that are like super anti-AI and like get really upset at like the people in Hollywood that are coming out saying like, well, maybe give it a chance. Maybe give it a chance. Like to me, that's why it's so fucking funny. That's why it's fucking funny, man. Is like they're getting so upset, and it's not working. Now there was a thing the other day, and I thought this was ironic beyond belief. There's a guy that we follow each other. He's an AI artist guy. And he got mad because somebody like recreated something he made in Grok. And he was like, don't do this. Don't take people's work. And then everyone's all like, bro, and like it looked bad. It just, not even what he said, but like the fact that he did it. Like, oh, this guy took my prompt. It's kind of like, dude, like, stop it. It's the same thing I view about piracy. All right. If you get it for free, give it for free. You know what I mean? Like, it's just people. But the thing is, though, people want power. They want to have, like they want to have their own little space and everything else. And that guy got cooked, but he's also making a lot of money on Twitter right now. And so having, multiple million, viewed tweets or people are roasting his ass, it's still going to do well for engagement and get him more money. So it's just kind of all part of it, I guess. Let's see. Skyscraper 2, more scraping. There you go. Chris Evans saved Red 1. He was good. No, Mo, I'm not talking about the Scorpion King 2 or 3. I'm talking proper sequel. Okay. Proper sequel. Bring back Kelly Hu. Okay. Proper sequel. Let him be the heel and turn into the Scorpion King and tie it into the Mummy 2. All right. That's all we need to do. Let's see. The Rock should try one more time and do a legit take on Doom. Oh, I love that fucking movie. It's so bad. It's like it's so bad. Plus he has one of the best lines. Semper Fi, motherfucker. I love that shit. Am I watching Red 1 for the holidays? Maybe, but I'll tell you the one I am going to watch is Spirited. The Will Ferrell, Ryan Reynolds musical retelling of Scrooge. That was on Apple TV Plus. That's such a good holiday film. How do I feel about the Simpsons movie 2 announcement? I can't even imagine the whiplash people are going to have hearing the voices in the trailer. Yeah, man. I have a feeling the voices are going to be touched up with AI. I just have a feeling. They're going to be touched up with AI. They're going to be touched up, or they're going to be touched up with like Respeecher, which is AI, machine learning, They're going to do all that because they're going to have to. Like Marge doesn't even sound like Marge anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's like Yardley Smith and Nancy Cartwright still sound great. Hank Azaria sounds 30 some odd years older. Harry Shearer sounds way older. Dan Castellaneta sounds way older. And Julie Kavner just sounds like she is a corpse that they just wheel in once a week to record her lines. I don't know what they're going to do. It's the whole weird thing. Maybe they should end The Simpsons with the second movie. I have no idea. Where the fuck is my Futurama movie, though? Yeah, I know they did like 4. Okay, but those kind of counted as like a season of the show. All right, but give me my Futurama movie. You know, where the fuck's a Family Guy movie? Where the fuck is another South Park movie? Let's go. Let's see. CGH here says, I rewatched Terminator Judgment Day, came to a couple conclusions. They closed the loop. Arnold's arm in the gears. Everything after could be other timelines. Yeah, that's why, I mean, it's one of the problems with franchises is that sometimes they don't need to live on. Like, as great as Alien is, do we need more Alien movies? Probably not. I will not say the same thing about Predator. But, I mean, Alien is kind of, again, it's kind of the same thing, right? Xenomorph, the face hugger, right? The chest burster, the fucking, all that shit, you know, all kind of the same. Just different environments. At least the Predator, it can, like, you know, go to other planets and, like, hunt and fight other things. So, DC League of Super Pets 2, make it happen. I'm surprised that they haven't. I mean, you figured the movie would have eked out enough of a profit to be able to warrant doing a sequel. But I think, again, when I talked about like how much money is going into, you know, the producer's pocket, right? That's a lot of what Dwayne Johnson does. It's a lot of how he makes his money is he produces these movies. And so they want him, you know, he gets his producer fee up front. And that is a lot of money. And I think that's, again, been one of the bigger problems. Fourth here says there's no Terminator after part 2. I'm not going to disagree, but I also really enjoy Terminator 3. And Dark Fate. I like Dark Fate. Fuck the haters. I like Dark Fate. Dark Fate should have got a sequel. AI in search of when? Soon. I don't know. Maybe one day. Zap says Kelly Hoot says she doesn't want to wear that sexy outfit again. I'm with enough money, I think she would change her mind. But I mean, yeah, I get it. She's like in her 50s now, I think. You know, so I get it. But look, dude, Salma Hayek is in her 50s, and good Lord, that woman doesn't age. She just doesn't age. Let's see. Blargan says, I have a theory that it will be a sci-fi multiverse movie as a way to give them new voices when it ends for future seasons. Oh, you mean for Simpsons? What, like Rick and Morty? No, because here's the thing with that. Rick and Morty is like hated now because the new voices, they sound like Rick and Morty, but they're not Rick and Morty. You can just tell that they're not Rick and Morty. And as a result of that, a lot of the diehard base is kind of tapped out, you know, but like Adult Swim signed up for like 7 seasons of like 10 episodes each. So adding it up to like 100 episodes total for the show. And there's a reason why, by the way, because then they could sell it into syndication. Most shows need, like most network television shows that are like 22 episodes long, they need 5 seasons to hit 100 episodes. And then when they hit like 100 episodes or somewhere in that neighborhood, then they can sell the syndication rights because it gives content to the other channels. So when Rick and Morty hit 100 episodes and they can sell it into syndication, there's a high probability that the show will end at that particular point in time, but they still want to make the money on the back end, which is why they're going to do it. I personally think they need to bring back Justin Roiland because he technically, the charges were dropped and there hasn't been anything said since then. So you know what I mean? It's like, at what point in time does he get to go back to work? You know what I'm saying? Because again, we have, you know, look at Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey was accused of a bunch of shit, but he kept getting acquitted. So it's like, we don't know if he did it or didn't do it. It's a tough one. It's a real tough one because you want people to feel safe, but at the same time, it's like, you know, are people making it up? Like the Aziz Ansari thing. He's finally, you know, he was canceled 7 years ago. He's finally got his new movie, his first directorial effort, in theaters right now. And no one's going, unfortunately. I want to see Good Fortune, but it's not something I'm going to go to the theaters to go see. I'm sorry. You know, I'm just not going to do it. Let me play catch up here. In search of commentary when we could do a live commentary. You know, I don't know what you'd want me to say about that. It's been so long. Facts. Her rack doesn't age either. There's some things that are just gifted to us by God. Salma Hayek's boobs are one of them. Oh, I should not have waited to drink that. I have a protein shake because I was kind of hungry, and it's like I pulled it out of the fridge, and then it got kind of lukewarm, and that does not taste good. All right. Let's see here. AI did a better Rick and Morty voice. It did. Blargan says the Simpsons voice cast don't really matter. Honestly, a bulk of its viewership in the past decades are international, where they listen to dub actors. I mean, I can't say that you're wrong on that one. Internationally, it's still very popular. Latin America is one of the biggest markets for Simpsons, and I think their original Homer died ages ago. Oh, really? I mean, yeah. You don't really think much about the international market, right? No, not people who were investigating Kevin Spacey were disappeared. People who had accused him or witnesses had died. I think 2 witnesses died, which is really not going to look good for him. Let's see here. Have you seen that clip? That claim Hayek clipped. Wait, what? That calm Hayek clip of her doing an interview and a snake pops up. Talk about scared to death. I haven't. All right, is this from Dusk Till Dawn? Oh yeah, DC fans are worried over the Warner Brothers merger. I know. So it's kind of crazy. This potentiality of a merger. What does it mean? Well, it all really depends on who it goes to. If Comcast is the one that's going to want to come on in and attempt to pick up Warner Brothers, right? It does make the most amount of sense for Comcast to be the one, because they've already got the deal with them for, Universal Studios and everything else. Okay. That would be good for the theme park, especially Harry Potter. Because that's still a fucking moneymaker, man. I don't care. That's still a fucking moneymaker. Whatever's going on with J.K. Rowling, it doesn't matter. It's still a moneymaker. So they would probably be the best ones to do it. But then again, they have no interest in superhero shit. They don't. Universal, their IPs are Illumination films and Jurassic World and Fast and Furious. They don't have an interest in doing. They tried with the Hulk. It didn't do well. They have the right of first refusal for anything going forward with the Hulk rights for production, but Marvel, or I should say Disney, doesn't want to risk Universal saying okay and then distributing the movie, and then Disney potentially losing out on some money because they have to split. So there was a lot of there's a reason for them to get it, but at the same time, I don't think they will. I don't think they're necessarily interested in doing it, to be honest with you. But Netflix probably would be the one to do it. J.K. Rowling is, dude, she's a billionaire. Okay. If she wanted to smoke a Cuban cigar out of your butthole, she probably could pay you enough money. Oh, Selma Hayek has a huge snake phobia and had to do months of therapy before filming From Dusk Till Dawn. Oh, wow. Crazy. Universal Studios itself is not doing so good. Universal Pictures or Universal Studios? Because Universal Pictures, Jurassic World has done okay. Dude, there's another Despicable Me coming. They're going to be fine. They have a Mario movie coming next year. It's going to be fine. Okay, for context, the first Simpsons movie came out within months of Simpsons at Universal Studios opening up. I mean, that is true. I was at Comic-Con actually in 2007, the day that Simpsons opened up. That was kind of cool. Let's see here. Personally, I think the movie only exists because Disney's going to bring Simpsons into a theme park. Universal loses the park rights the same year the movie comes out. Suspicious timing. Oh, yeah. Well, there's been some thoughts. There's been some thoughts about how Tron Ares was only made in order to promote the Tron Light Cycle rides over there at Disney. And I think there's actually some thought to that. I think there's actually some truth to that, because Disney, is going to, why not? They can write down all the losses from Tron Ares, and then still have that tax write-off and, and make money in other ways. So I think that's a big factor. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Universal is still splitting up into a new studio. Is it? I haven't heard that, but okay. I don't know. I haven't heard it. Okay, Simpsons Land is opening in Disney parks in 2027. Just sounds so wrong. Like there's no hype anymore for the franchise. It just feels way too late. Yeah, you're right. I agree. It's kind of like, opening up Galaxy's Edge. They opening it up 6 months before the end of the sequel trilogy, and then setting it in a storyline set during the sequel trilogy. It just felt like really bad timing. I keep saying this. I said this on a perp stream last night. I was saying that they really do need to like just play in the original trilogy and just be there for a while. And that would be the best place for Star Wars, is to stay either just before like Andor or just after with Mando and play in that timeline. You get 15 years of time in the Galactic Republic. Sorry, the Galactic Empire, to go and do all that. But then granted, a lot of younger kids, the Gen Zers, and maybe like young millennials, they grew up with with Clone Wars. So it's like, could Clone Wars make a comeback? Would that do well if they set more movies during the Clone Wars? Could be something. Let's see. They failed with the Dark Universe. They had one movie and they never, and then they dipped out. It was really bad. A lot of people want a Ghostbusters land at Universal Park, but I think it would be kind of depressing. It would need CGI Ghost Ramus and all the other actors looking old as fuck. Yeah, you don't need you don't need that kind of shit. Like Halloween Horror Nights having a Ghostbusters theme makes sense. Having it be once a year makes sense. Little things like that, they make sense. Otherwise, it doesn't make a lot of sense because we're not getting a lot of new stuff out of Ghostbusters. I mean, hell, I haven't even seen Frozen Empire yet. Wait, what? Hold on here. Casey Walsh is still around? Good night, Joey. Thank you for coming on in. Yes, I completely agree. Fourth, Galaxy's Edge needs more rides. It's just a shopping mall, but also that's Disneyland. Wait, Casey's still around? I had no idea. DM me his tweet because I forgot that fucker existed. I thought I completely forgot that he existed. That's so fucking funny, man. Some of those guys, it's like, like I found out that I'm blocked by both of the co-founders of Discussing Film. I thought that was kind of funny that I was blocked by. I knew I was blocked by one of them, and I'm also blocked by like Discussing Film itself. But I didn't realize that I was blocked by the other guy, so it's kind of funny to me. I don't even really care. Because it's, I mean, movie discussion in and of itself has been kind of shitty, right? Like movie news is kind of shitty. There's really not a lot going on that is like really interesting to talk about. In many ways, what we have is just like, again, just people that are so freaking out over every little fucking detail. It's kind of annoying. Okay, where are we at there? It sucks that they won't make an IRL Quickie Mart for Simpsons Movie 2 again since Apu got Thanos snapped. Yeah. I'm still like not happy about that. I've always found that to be such a dumb thing. I understand, but I'm not trying to be like apathetic, right? Or like unsympathetic to people. I get the frustration with having a character like Apu, and then the way people would be responding to that back in like the 90s. If you see the Indian kid at school, like, oh, do you own a Quickie Mart sort of thing, I can understand why they would be why they would be upset. But I also don't think, and while Apu has been kind of showcased as a bit of a stereotype, I don't believe that they've ever gone into this the base stereotype with him in a negative, right? He owns the Quickie Mart. He runs the Quickie Mart. He's dedicated to his job. They have a whole episode where he gets married, right? He ends up having 8 kids, so he's a family man running his store with his wife and their children. It's like they gave him like the American dream, But then one person gets upset, and then Hank Azaria is like, I'm not going to do it anymore. Have I watched the new King of the Hill season yet? I haven't. It's great, but goddamn, is Khan's new voice actor terrible? Well, I mean, that sucks. I always like Khan. The new studio that's forming off of Universal Studios is Versant. Why? What's going on with that? Like, why would they do that? Why would they form off? Again, this is, if anything, one of the reasons why they'd be doing all that, and this is just my speculation, is this, it has everything to do with the amount they're trying to just like consolidate. You know what I'm saying? It's like everything feels like a damn consolidation. So, you know, they kind of have to. There was also that documentary. Yeah, I know that documentary was put on by that one guy who was complaining. I saw parts of it. Like I said, I'm not unsympathetic to their reasoning, but I also feel it's just kind of like, you know, stupid. I don't care. Like, I don't care if you have a white character voiced by a black actor or vice versa or whatever. If the person can embody the character, then do it. Then just fucking do it. But this whole like pearl clutching and couch feigning thing, I think, is ridiculous. It's one of the things I vehemently disagree with, like, the far left on. You know, it's like, you know, like, Phil Lamar is an excellent voice actor and he does a great job of Samurai Jack, but he's not Japanese. No one seems to care. Right? No one seems to care. But it's just this idea there that we kind of, the left swung the pendulum so far to the left that it alienated people. And instead of like explaining why something is happening, which is what they should have probably done with the Apu thing a little bit better, there was just this like massive like kind of capitulation to it, in my opinion. So. Let's see here. The funny thing too, in regards to King the Hill, is Dale's voice actor replacement sounds more like Dale than Dale's OG voice actor does in the few episodes he recorded before dying. Really? Well, that's good. That's good. I'm glad they didn't really skip a beat on that one. Because I do you know, it sucks that he died. Okay, the comics kid. Oh God. Wait, am I still following Casey? Oh my God, what the hell? I'm still following him, but I muted him and he unfollowed me. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. Totally forgot he existed. Okay. So, okay. Anyway. I mean, he's a, you know, we agree politically on a lot of stuff, but the dude's kind of crazy. The left and right are both permanently online because of COVID isolations. No, they were already like that beforehand, buddy. It maybe exacerbated things, but they've always done that shit. Hold on, let me Google this here. Versant. Universal. Hold on, I'm Googling it. Okay. All right. Versant is the new name for the independent company that was formed by a spinoff of most of NBC Universal's cable television networks and complementary digital assets such as USA Network, CNBC, and Rotten Tomatoes. It's separate from Universal theme parks and studios. So, okay, it's not Universal Studios is spinning off into a new company. They're just consolidating the TV side of it. So it's like USA Network, CNBC, MSNBC. Both of those are fucking leaving, I think. Oxygen, E, Sci-Fi, the Golf Channel. Yeah, okay. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, and it's entirely, NBC Universal is still owned by Comcast. Okay. CJH, dude, your Twitter account is you just having whatever, whenever you're taking a shit, and you have a weird thought, you just put it out there. So anyway, where are we at there? All right, I'll tell you guys what I'll do. I'll drop the link. We'll do about maybe, maybe like 30, 40 minutes of if anyone wants to come on in and chit chat. We'll just do a roundtable type shit because I really don't have much else to go on today. I mean, there's let me look through what's happening with everything. I think it's funny that Apple decided to not buy Warner Brothers. That's a weird one. Apple's got enough money to buy them cash. You know, just straight up. So that's kind of wild. All right. Let's see here. And MSNBC is now, is now MS Now. Yeah, I know. It's a weird name. I don't like it. Not at all, man. Fourth here says, here comes Mo. And yeah, exactly. Mo's always the first one.
Morning, everybody. You son of a bitches.
And as soon as I say that, as soon as I drop the link, dude, people start dipping the fuck out because I think they knew you were coming.
Yeah, I tend to get that effect. Even in family.
Well, it's a good thing I'm not family.
Nah, we don't know. We don't have to look through the family tree. We don't have to look through the family tree.
I'm pretty certain. Unless someone
go ahead.
Unless someone related to me is has been south of the border having a good time.
Who knows, right? We could be like 15th cousin removed and all that shit.
Possible.
And all that white people shit,
Fourth, you're asking, how's the love life? Jesus Christ.
We're no longer. Yeah, it didn't fare well.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Oh, it's personal. A lot of personal stuff I needed to, and I wasn't, taking away my attention. So I really didn't feel like it's more like a break.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
Well, is it a break or is it just like a never was sort of thing?
She says break. I'm gonna go ahead and say break right now because I'm still dealing with the family loss and a couple more family losses after that. My dad is in the hospital at the moment, and
yeah, I'm sorry to hear
the house is empty, dude. And so when it's like that, I tend to be a bit clingy, and that is overbearing to people. I understand. And I know I bother you a lot when you're on the streams and then on the Twitter thing, and so I tend to when it comes to Yessie and I don't want to overburden her with my myself,
Yeah.
So I don't know how to handle a lot of that stuff.
Well,
you would think I would be because my mom died a couple, 10 years ago, 10, 13 years ago, and I'm like, you're never ready for that kind of shit.
Well, yeah, you're never ready for any kind of death in the family, obviously. So I'm sorry to hear that. But hold on here. I see David, what's going on, man?
Hello, how are you?
All right.
Wow, that is deep.
That is deep. Like you got balls deep.
Sorry
Are
about
you
that.
okay?
Yeah.
You have a cold or something?
No, this is my normal voice.
Is it a new microphone?
No, maybe the volume, that could be it.
Oh no, it's cranked, dude. It's cranked up, and it sounds like voice from God sort of thing.
Is that better?
Yeah, it's a lot cleaner.
Are you trying to talk dirty to me? Like what the fuck?
No, actually,
because you're just like is that better?
I actually once had a woman I was talking to on the phone tell me I had the voice of a phone sex operator.
Hey, Dave, listen, David, do you need work?
No, sir. No, sir.
No, not from me. I'm saying yeah, you could crank up the bass a little bit and be all like, I want you to rub your pussy.
Actually,
you know what I mean? You could do that. You could make some money.
I am looking into So I've joined a couple of different casting things. So I'm looking to be a PA. So I'm looking to, get, day gigs, and I'm also trying to get voiceover work too.
Nice.
So I've
You have a face for radio and voice acting.
I've been told that on several occasions. But no,
Man, Matt can help you out with that. He has a face for that kind of shit.
A couple of profiles on like Backstage and casting networks and do extra work and everything else. So, but
nice.
We'll
At least you got
that'll-
something on your plate.
Huh?
At least you got something on your plate.
Yeah, I'm trying. I mean,
It's better than standing still. That's all I'm saying.
oh no, absolutely. I can't stand still. I've been doing this for almost 8 months.
You should never stand still. You know, you're gonna turn into Matt. You know, going to Alaska and
Hawaii.
buying that too. You know,
Yeah,
I was in
well,
Hawaii.
far off Eastern Asian places where.
well, we can all
you know,
thank our fearless leader for the shutdown, because he was damn well screwed me out of that cruise line job too, because of I'm sure you've heard of it. It's called MMC. So you need one of those cards. Essentially, it's a card to be able to go on a cruise line.
Oh, okay.
Jesus.
Oh yeah, I went through I actually have another thing. It's called a TWIC, a Transportation Worker Identification Card. I had to go through a whole TSA thing. I mean, I paid the money and everything else. I have the card. It's just like I need the other one now, and it's in limbo. But anyways.
Will that fuck up your next year's plans, Matt, for your other affordable cruise lines next year?
I guess we're talking about going to Alaska again, is what my girlfriend wants to do. I'm just like, all right, let me just kind of get over, let me just start to kind of recoup some funds.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because I
mean, it's not like the money comes from trees unless she's gonna pay for the whole thing.
No, it was just it was just a lot. It was just a lot of money. It was fun. It was a good time.
It was 14 days. It had to be fun.
Well, I mean, I barely slept during that time. I was having so much trouble sleeping. In fact, I was able to get a last minute appointment tomorrow with my sleep doctor to go in there and be like, all right, we got to either prescribe me some more drugs, like hardcore shit, because otherwise I just can't sleep. It's been happening since I got back too. So yeah, we're working on that.
So your sleep rhythm has been fucked up since the beginning of the trip?
Fuck, it's been bad. Yeah, it's been bad.
Jesus.
So it's just, and it sucks because I drive and I want to make sure that I'm like good to go, but at the same time I need to rest enough so I can heal.
Yeah. I mean, as a fellow driver myself, we had to be wary of all areas as a driver,
Yeah.
Blind spots and shit. But you have to be more aware because you got people in your car. I got nobody. All I got is packages.
Yeah, it's a lot of it is just, thankfully, it's been pretty chill. Like, we're in our slow season right now, so that part's gonna suck. I mean, normally I usually I would on a average week I make about, like, let's say about $150 to $200 in cash tips, right? A weekend. And I made like 80 this week.
Okay.
Yeah, better than nothing, in my opinion.
I was like, fuck, dude, that's like,
Now, is that like a seasonal thing? Like,
well, I mean, yeah, we have cruisers that come in, and so we do a lot with cruisers.
So it will pick up.
Yeah, but that's not till like next April is when the cruise season starts again.
Okay,
we have there's times where it picks up and everything else, and everything. I'm not worried about it. It's kind of it will give me the opportunity to kind of focus on like doing more like patio commentaries and writing more. I just want to get my sleep figured out before I start trying to dive into anything where that's like a consistent creation process, mostly because of how tired I just like the yesterday and most of today I was just feeling really down, and I'm like, there's stuff I want to work on, and I'm like, I can't even like get out of bed. So I was just playing. I was just playing Dead Cells, on my Switch, and just like doing that and having a good time. And then I'm like, all right, but see, the thing is, I'm more active at night, and I like talking. I like doing this. This shit's fucking fun, but it's not tenable. It's just not tenable.
Yeah.
And it's, like, and even people, I've seen like some comments from some people that are just like, yeah, man, like fucking movie news is just like, it's just shit. So, especially anything DC related. Holy fuck. Like,
Oh, don't get me started on that.
But
but
I'm
I'm
doing.
it's
I mean, you talking about the movies. I'm talking about comics. Holy motherfucking shit!
well, I mean,
Well-
go ahead.
oh no, I was just gonna say, like, at this point, I'm waiting for like RJ to get a James Gunn interview. That would be
get
funny.
there. He'll get there one day. That'll be fun.
No, the whole industry has changed. The whole dynamic of the industry has changed over the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
I mean, and you were talking about it tonight. It's just movies are not. It's like a rubber band. You can't pull too hard on it because it's going to snap back. But at the same time, you don't want to pull too hard because you want to make as much revenue as possible. And that's like this. I've just put in the comments earlier that Heat just got a $37 million tax credit. The new Heat movie is coming out in a couple of years, and that's going to be fine. But like the budget of that movie compared to and I don't know what the first one was. If anybody could find out, that'd be great. But like,
Isn't Leo in the new Heat?
so yeah. So who's confirmed? Okay, right now it's Leonardo DiCaprio, it's Bradley Cooper, Austin Butler, and there's another big name. And I have my thoughts about it, but the whole point is that the budget of that's going to be over $200 million, and
Most
the
likely, yeah.
market is not like it was back in 1995. And it's like, okay, that's great and good, but Adam Driver, speaking of, that's who it was. And it's like, that's great and good, but what are they going to do? Like, let's face it, this movie's not going to make any money.
Well, is
This
it?
would be lucky to be. I mean, because this didn't go. I mean,
Well, it's a
if it's
prestige.
really
It's
gonna
a
go
prestige.
overseas.
It's a prestige film.
Exactly.
The
That's what I
movie
mean.
is being made for fucking award season,
Right.
right? They're
And
like, remember 30 years ago when Michael Mann's Heat came out?
Well,
yeah, let's.
Well, funny enough, the first film didn't even win any Academy Awards. How it didn't win for sound is beyond me, but nonetheless, yeah. And it's like, okay, and so you're gonna have a budget that's over $200 million, and also it's gonna be depending on like where they put it. Because let's face it, that is the essence of a blockbuster film. And then I mean, I compare it to like Joker.
I don't think blockbusters really exist anymore.
Well, to a certain extent, but like
They only have
action,
one, if I remember correctly.
you know.
When it was open.
But I compare it to like Joker. Joker was a phenomenal film. Made over $1 billion, got all the Academy Award nominations. Now Joaquin was really the only one that we remember, but it never needed a sequel. It was on the fence. Yes, no, maybe so, whatever. And then you turn around and they make Joker 2 and it bombed. So, I mean, you're talking about.
But I stand by the idea though that Joker 2 bombed because it was not part of the DCU. Right.
Yeah.
And I think Joker 1 had enough going for it to where people were like, it's connected enough. Right. Because you had Bruce Wayne, you had Thomas Wayne, you had the death of the Wayne parents, you had Gotham as a character, you had all these things, and everything there was connected enough to where it would make the average person who didn't know think this is there's Batman.
Yeah.
Right. It was a good movie, but then it's like, where does it go from here?
Yeah.
Okay, your sequel is just him on trial and he's singing terribly.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, at least A Star Is Born had full frontal Lady Gaga.
Joker.
Yeah. Getting back to the whole thing about the movies is, I agree with you. The budgets are too high. Theaters are, even with HBO Max now saying they're going to bump up the prices, I think the theaters are going to eventually come back. What you said, I think there's a couple things they could do. The first thing is lower the prices. Dedicate one. I mean, we have all these multiplexes, with 10 or 12 theaters. Dedicate one of these to older films. Okay. The second is don't open before noon, because really look at who your crowd is before 12 p.m. I mean, yeah, maybe kids and everything else to a certain extent, but not a lot.
Now, elderly go. That's actually a really big demographic,
Oh, really? Okay.
right?
I
The
stand
elderly,
corrected
the
on that.
elderly going before noon. That's usually who goes,
Okay, so
right?
that's why they do it.
It's a big demographic of people. Yeah, they'll go
Okay.
in the morning. Because when I was working the theater in LA, we'd open up in the first show. Was that like 11:30?
Okay.
Right, and we would
That's not
have
bad.
usually
don't
older
be
people
open
there.
like 9:30 in the morning.
I mean, the earliest I've gone and seen a film was I think it was at 8:15 a.m. The Watchmen in IMAX
Okay.
back in 2009 because of
Okay.
how long the movie was.
Right.
And I'm like, fuck, that was early.
Yeah. But so there are things they can do. And I think eventually what's going to end up happening is that people are going to make a choice. It's either pay $20 a month. Okay, let's just say they have HBO Max. And I know that, it's bundled and everything else. Let's just say they have that. Either you pay $20 a month for that with ads, or $23 for non-ads, or you get a movie pass for $26. And it's like, okay, I can see all these first-rate films as many times as I want, any movie, anytime I want, and I'm getting a discount on my concessions and everything else. So there's going to have to be some give there. And also, too, you have the amount of money you were talking about, you touched on it earlier, Matt, about the amount of money that these studios take from each ticket. And if your average ticket is, let's say, so give me an example. Back in 2015, God, 10 years ago, when The Force Awakens came out, do you know how much Disney took from each and every ticket that was bought?
The Force Awakens?
Contractually? 71%.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Because we never got the Attack of the Clones at the drive-in because because Fox
71%.
wanted like 78%.
So here's the thing. So it was 71%. Then what ends up happening is that they have to keep it in the theater. And I did all this research a while back. That's how I know this. They had to keep it in the largest theater, their IMAX theater, for 6 weeks.
Yep.
If they didn't do that, it went all the way up to 75% per ticket. Now, when Last Jedi came out, it was 73% per ticket. And Rise of Skywalker was 75%. So if you have a $16 ticket, I'm just averaging it. But let's say you have a $16 ticket and you're having 75% of that removed. That's $12. That's leaving your theater $4 a hit ticket for overhead, for food production, for rent of the facility, and a multitude of other things. And that's why. So that's why you see 25 shows of the Superman, because they have to make as much money as they can.
Well, yeah, I mean, I get that, and they're going to try to cater to as many people as humanly possible. But at the same time, it's like, this is not new, right? The Force Awakens was 10 years ago. All right.
Yeah.
The Clone Wars, Attack of the Clones, 2002 at the drive-in. We didn't get it because they wanted 78 cents on the dollar per ticket. And then they wanted us to put it on our biggest screen for like 3 months. We only had 2 screens. They worked with us when Revenge of the Sith came out, and we were able to get it opening weekend, which was really good. But yes, the idea there is that they make their money, and then the concessions and everything else are what basically brings in everything. When we were at the drive-in before I left, and even after I left, we were pulling in like between 4,000 and 5,000 a night, on a Friday, Saturday night in the snack bar. You know, like, and that's small. And I mean, but then like a couple thousand even on like, on a Sunday night, and like everything else. So it kept going and going and going, and that's where we made a lot of our money. Was all that. But again, it's also concessions are pretty fucking spendy.
Yeah.
And people, you have a family of 4 that want to go. It's like I've noticed they've completely given up on trying to stop anyone from sneaking food in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I'm like, all right. I mean, they'd rather probably just have them come on in.
Yeah, they need the business.
Yeah,
to
bring the
just-
whole buffet in. That'd be good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's they can only do so much, and that's why they offer 10% or whatever it is, 15% with your Regal card, to do that, and they give you other little perks like things on your birthday or whatever else. But it's like, it's still no. That's a lot of people don't understand the concessions are what keeps these theaters the lights on. The employees there and everything else. As a matter of fact, I have an interview with Regal on Friday, for the theater near me. But it's
Yeah.
like, the business going back full circle. The business has changed ever since COVID. I mean, yes, we've had some hits, some major hits. We have that one original hit per year, whether it's a Sinners or a Top Gun Maverick or an Oppenheimer or a Barbie or
Would you even really consider Sinners that much of a hit? Domestically, sure.
Yes.
Well, but it's like, it's like popularity wise, I don't know, man. It's
How much do you think it will make when they bring them back next
they're
week?
putting it up against K-pop Demon Hunters.
Okay, you're fucked.
So they're putting it, but I think they're putting it back in like the 70 millimeter because the large premium format did really well for Sinners. And
I'll be curious to go ahead.
And I mean, I would like to see it in that format. It's like I said today in my video. It's like the nearest 70 millimeter screen is 700 miles away.
Jesus,
that's the nearest one
Sacramento,
for me.
He said,
yeah, Sacramento. So it's like I can't get to it. There's literally,
you can't go to Sacramento now. It's a burning hellhole, like Trump says.
No, he hasn't said anything about Sacramento, San Francisco, and San Diego, maybe, but
everything in California is on fire.
Movies more often too.
No, I just totally understand what you mean. But the point is, so you have that one big hit a year, maybe 2 if you're lucky. There's a lot of different things that have to happen. I just have to come down for these, these films. But then the flip side of the coin is that are people going to really go see original films? If you had a choice between going to see an IP you knew, okay.
Yeah, well, but that's what I was talking about though before. It was like the whole put it on streaming first, let it build an audience, and then put it in theaters, right? Like, because I'm telling you, I don't believe K-pop Demon Hunters would have made the money it did, or would have had the impact it did if it wasn't
with that Netflix model. What I would ask then is, why did a movie like Knives Out do so well?
Because it already had one that was already in theaters and did well.
No, I'm not talking about Glass Onion. The first one.
Well, Knives Out. I mean, Knives Out did well. It had an ensemble cast,
right?
And it had a lot of people, so there's a lot of star power. So it's hard to kind of, was it Jamie Lee Curtis? Was it Christopher Plummer? Was it Ana de Armas?
I mean,
was it
Daniel Craig and everything else, right? I get that, but
great movie by the way, though.
Yeah, absolutely. You take a look at Glass Onion, which I saw in theaters, okay, because of that FOMO effect. But we'll never know. But I can't imagine they got a lot of people to sign up for Netflix because of Glass Onion. Now it's going to be interesting to see what they do with this third film. But Ryan Johnson's already been like he's weary about it. I think if Netflix were to keep it in theaters, a month, they're going to be able to make a lot of money. I mean, look, Glass Onion.
They're not going to. The thing with them in movies going to theaters is that, like, I do think eventually they are going to end up being like the studio that puts movies in theaters. I do believe so.
Mm-hmm.
They have to hold true to it right now in the sense of, not. Like they have their shareholders to worry about, right? And like,
right.
I think Netflix's stock is like $1,200 a share.
Yeah.
somewhere in there. It's got a lot, right? It's doing really well. I mean,
35.
what is it?
Finished today at $1,241.35
Okay, it's right.
per share.
So and Warner Brothers Discovery shares are at like $21. You know what I mean?
That's cheap.
Like, it's just you know, it's just this is but the whole thing, and I said this in my video, all these businesses only care about their shareholders and their investors. That's
absolutely.
it. That's all they care about. So they'll take a risk, hope something does well. And that's the same thing that's going on with gaming, is that these companies get all these investors that want them to do these live service games that can be revenue generators. And so
$20.33 and it actually was up 10% today, 11%.
So there you go.
What about TKO? How much are they making?
TKO, what is TKO?
TKO is they own WWE, they own
Hey, what's up, Fourth?
UFC.
They own UFC, they own all the combat types of things, and I mean they're making money. They're making billions of dollars. Tony Khan's, but that's a whole other thing for another time. But no, I understand what you mean.
Well, the billionaires are making the money, and then the rest of us are sitting here and going like, "Man, I'm upset. I can't. The theaters are so expensive." It's like, yeah, just fucking watch. But here's my again. I said this I think earlier. Are people watching the movies? Because at the end of the fucking day, it's not my money that the studios are losing, right? It's not your money that they're losing, and there's so much content, right? Like it's so hard to tell. And I have a feeling. I just had this thought. And you know what? I'm glad we can talk about this here because if I would have mentioned this on Perp Stream, he would have blown a fucking gasket. No. I've noticed like a rise in piracy, but the rise is so massive that like there's subreddits that like I got recommended that I'm not even part of, and they're piracy subreddits, and they're hey, where do I find the best movie site?
As a matter of fact, the other day I'm on YouTube and I see in my suggested, it was a pirated copy of Fantastic Four.
There's a lot of
lie, I clicked on it, and I watched the first 45 minutes, or at least what I could, until it got so bad. But I think
those
that's
Android
because
boxes too.
Oh yeah, you got the what is it, the Raspberry Pi? You can put them on there or something like that, or the Ko-Fi, right? Is it Ko-Fi? Not Ko-Fi. No. It's Cody.
Yeah,
that's what
Cody.
it is.
Damn, man.
Ko-Fi.
Don't make me hungry, dude.
That's like buy me a coffee. Yeah. But I mean, there's like some of this stuff is just like, you log in. I'm looking at one right now. I know, what is it? One of the ones that's like the major player, I think, one of the big ones is I like logged in for my Xbox last night. I was just bored. It was like 2 a.m. and I'm like, I wonder if I can, because they have like they only have so many free slots available before they want you to, whatever. And it worked. I was able to watch the new episode of South Park from the comfort of my bed with my Xbox on and everything. And I was like looking at that going, it's $90 for 2 years. $90 for 2 years. The access. And I'm like, for one, I think it's very bad to spend the money to get access to this shit, But at the same time, it's like
illegal.
Well, yeah, and you can also, but you can sit there and you can log in, like you can watch it on your phone, you can watch it on your tablet, you can watch it on your TV, you can put it on your console and like log in through like their web browser on the console. I mean, I've watched. That's how I watched like War of the Worlds. I just found one of those sites. I was at work, brought up my tablet, just boop, boop, and it was like just watching it from the fucking van because I had time to kill.
And how was the quality?
It was the same quality you get on Amazon. It was all high definition. The
only time piracy is okay is when the actual thing isn't available, I think, honestly.
Yeah, I mean,
but that argument can be made for so many,
and it's not available on Disney Plus or whatever.
It's kind of like if it's not available anywhere else, okay, yeah. But it's also like, again, if you justify it for one thing, you can probably justify it for something else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Matt, I can't wait to hear you justify downloading a car.
I think that
I would absolutely download a car.
I know you would, but I don't know how you would justify it. It would make sense.
Do you know the irony of that ad is that they stole the font?
Yeah, that's the funniest damn thing.
Well,
Hold
I
on.
think it
Wait,
really comes down to
Fourth
cost,
makes an
right?
interesting point here, though. Fourth, your comment here about 3D printing merch like figurines.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is though, like it's like the company, works a licensing deal with the studio in order to then be able to like make that. So like
Right.
they'd have to like, would have to like work with the company to do it. Otherwise it'd be copyright violations.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
send us
definitely. But I would
dildos
say
for
that
women and all
you would
that shit. You know.
you would have the advantage of being right there in the theater with the figurines instead of having to go and seek them out or log in and find the
Well,
website. It's like they're in your
sure.
face.
No, I completely agree. If you want to buy the merch, but here's the alternate to that, right? And I've had this idea for years. What if when you walked out of watching like an Avengers movie, you walk out and there's a kiosk right there, and it's all like pre-order the film, pre-order your physical copy.
Yeah.
Right? You scan a QR
Yeah,
code, it takes you to
right with the buzz is high. Yeah.
go there.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, how many of us would have been like, all right, yeah, I'll fucking buy that,
Fuck
And
yeah,
it's
dude!
like,
I'd put down the money for that kind of shit.
Okay, two
And I
things.
never.
What if
Uh,
your ticket can
Yeah,
get you
give
the
you some
movie?
sort of discount. So two things. Number
Or
one, Regal
yeah,
actually has
that's
something where they have a whole merchandise line before you go into the concessions. So you buy your ticket, and they have a whole thing of concessions, like everything, all their popular movies. So I mean, that's just another way for them to try and make money. Entice you to buy something, um, impulse buy. Right then and there. The second thing is they don't know, and I suppose it doesn't matter at the time. But if a film comes out, whether it's next week or next month, they don't know when it's going to be. Um, they're not gonna have a date. You know what I mean? A lot of people want to know. That's like when Superman came out. They, within a month or 6 weeks, they wanted to know when it was going to be on streaming. They want to know when they're going to be able to get that. So they don't want to have to go back. Now, sure, you can get updates and everything else, but still, it's if I buy something, if I'm spending $30 to get this, I want to know when I'm going to get this. And it better be there the day you say it's going to be there.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Otherwise, I'm not going to spend the money because I just dropped, let's say 30 or $40 to watch the movie. So there's that
well,
whole thing there too. So, I mean, that's a great
I'm
idea.
surprised they never. I'm surprised they never really pimped out like the director's cut experience by intentionally, like you get a whole film, like you're not like cutting like the original film, but they design your movie, like let's say Superman, right? But then like they have like additional like footages that were designed for the home release that are more than just like clips, like how they
Mhm.
did that whole other Transformers movie where there was a whole China subplot, and it's like, why not give people a reason to double dip by extending the experience?
Yeah, I think, and I think at some point, at the end of the day, I mean, you're always going to have your players out there that are going to get the high price premium hot toys that's going to spend $150, $200 on some things. You're always going to have those. It's going to be a small market. But I think people, at the end of the day, when it comes to money and entertainment, they want to spend as much as they need to. Even
Yeah.
if they're going to get something later on, they don't have to wait for it. We're all about an
Yeah.
instant gratification type of society today. And so, that's great. You can get a pre-order thing, but at the same time, I want it yesterday type of thing.
Right.
And I think that yes, and you can always say, "Oh, director's cut, never seen footage," and I mean, look, that's always one selling point of anything. Okay, whenever you see, limited time, or get yours now, or fear of missing out, that's them trying to get you to buy it right then, impulse buy.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing. And I think that when you're spending $40 and $50 on a movie, if you're going with a date, you're getting concessions, whatever, you don't want to drop another $30 right there. Now, if you say, okay, well, you can redeem this within 30 days and you can come back and get this, I think people will be like, "Oh, okay, sure. I mean, I'm not going to spend another $30 now, but maybe when I get my paycheck next week, sure, I have no problem going back and dropping $30 and then eventually getting it because they know they've seen it, they like it. And I mean, I got to the point where I only bought DVDs or Blu-rays, I should say, that I saw in theaters because I was getting it every single week, the brand new whatever it was, and I'm like, I need to slow down. This is when
Yeah.
physical Best Buy and Target and all these companies had physical media.
Yeah. It's like when I was in
No.
Hawaii, we went to like 4 different Walmarts, and every port we went to a Walmart, because we're trashy.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, it was the cheapest place on the island to go buy stuff. But everyone we went to, I went to the electronics department, and I don't know why I was like looking at Superman, and I'm all like, should I buy it like the 4K while I'm in Hawaii just for shits and grins? I'm like, what am I doing? No. But then I come home and I get an email from Scream Factory, and they're just like, Shocktober sale ends tonight. And I'm like, all right, let's see what they got. And yeah, so tomorrow, Land of the Dead, Vampires, and the Faculty are arriving.
Nice,
Or like how
nice,
you
nice.
said, Jarbo, like ordering it right then and there. Maybe that's how you get your steel books. You can only get them if you get to go to the theater.
I mean, fuck, dude, that would be great, because then I wouldn't have to worry about buying steelbooks.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but then you'd have to. Yeah.
I fucking
Hey, I'll
hate
be
steelbooks.
on mute for a couple minutes. My dad just came back from the
Okay.
hospital.
Well,
Okay,
I don't know
yeah,
how
do that.
popular those things were, but one thing I'm surprised that's never happened that's kind of devalued the purchase of like a DVD Blu-ray is that all the stuff gets uploaded to YouTube. And so all the making of behind the scenes and all that stuff, it's like it's
Yeah,
just
but
right there on
it's
YouTube.
not
Well,
immediately.
you know what I think really fucking hurts, and I really love to see them find a way around this. I understand the DRM protection on the discs, but they even block you from getting screenshots of the menus. I fucking hate the fact that I can't go and look up what a menu looks like on a disc. Like I've always kind of enjoyed that. And I was just always really bummed that because you can't do it. You just can't. There's no way. I've tried multiple different softwares, multiple different things. Like you just can't get that. And I think like as far as like media is concerned, the early DVDs and the early Blu-rays put a lot of effort into those menu
Yes.
systems.
Mhm.
And those are part of the fun, like the Easter eggs, the little things that popped up. Like
Oh,
you can't
yeah.
even get like anything of that. And I feel like that's such like a lost art form right there.
Oh yeah, it's the DVD Blu-ray used to be like the after party for a really good movie. Especially like it was sad when the what movie was it? Was it Kill Bill had like a terrible DVD release compared to Tarantino's other movies, and they were mostly just like interviews that you would find like on YouTube, just put on the DVD and stuff like that. But
Well,
nothing like in depth or him doing a commentary or
yeah.
even like the Zack Snyder stuff.
Well, what is it? When I got the thing on 4K, there's like a feature length documentary about the making of the film, but it was also on like I think like the special edition DVD or Blu-ray or something. So a lot of times it's just like repeated features. When I got the Goonies on 4K, the movie was in 4K, but the second disc was a Blu-ray. And it's if I had it near me, I would take a snapshot and show you guys. It was a static image as the menu.
Yeah.
It's just
Yes,
of
it
the
is.
map. And then you can like kind of go through the different things. And I'm like, it was so funny to me, like just how all that shit is. But this was also before forth, like all the old stuff. This is before YouTube, and you can go and find like, you can go and find some of the menus. People have recorded them with their cameras and like uploaded those to YouTube. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, that was an option. Do you ever see the? I'm not even sure this gets released on the new editions of From Dusk Till Dawn. Do you ever watch the Full Tilt Boogie documentary?
No, I don't think I did.
Have you heard of that one before?
I don't believe so.
With on the earlier release, I think it's on the DVD. And don't quote me, but I think it's on the DVD only. Yeah, you get like a full like hour and some change documentary of From Dusk Till Dawn of them making the movie and behind the scenes interviews. It starts off with Quentin and George Clooney, backstage getting ready, getting dressed, and they all kind of perform like little skits and stuff like that. But it's about as long as the movie, and it's really entertaining.
I
But I
really
haven't seen it
enjoy
anywhere else.
when I sometimes though those features are a little bit too long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you're going like, how much time do I have to spend? I remember when I was doing movie reviews, like the physical media reviews, I tried to go through all of the special features as well as watching the movie. So when I talked about it, and then I realized like no one gives a shit about the special features. Like no one.
and
At the end of the
that's
day, like they don't.
no,
Right.
and that's the biggest thing about that is the biggest thing. I mean, to your point, I would, if I had a choice between getting a DVD or a Blu-ray, I always get the Blu-ray, and then I got the combo pack because of the special features. And then I realized, well, okay, some of these are cool, and some of these are just ridiculous. And that's why they're able to charge an extra $5, $5 or $6. A, because of the combo pack, and B, because of the special features.
Well,
Because you can-
do you know the first movie that pushed that? Right?
No.
'Cause remember when it was like the special edition or whatever, the 2-disc set was only like it was like $15 and the DVD was like $13.
No.
It was like super cheap.
Yeah, I mean, I remember it
The
vaguely,
first movie that upped the price on that shit, Harry Potter 4, Goblet of Fire.
Interesting.
That was the first one, and then after that, they all just started because they raised it from $15 to $19.99
Yep.
with the regular price of the DVD, the single
And
disc
then
being.
it went to $24.99, and some of them, depending on if it is a 4K or a steelbook. I mean, I've gotten steelbooks before. I mean, it could be as high as $29.99, and you're like, really? I'm gonna spend $30 on this? So I mean,
it depends on the movie.
depends on what it is.
depends on the movie because, like, I will admit, I dropped like $30 for Spawn. If I would wait for an Arrow sale to drop it to 25, I'd get it, but I really wanted it.
yeah. I mean, FOMO, right?
certain
You were talking
certain
about it earlier.
movies. Yeah, like there's the one that I wish I didn't have the money when it came out, and it goes on sale every once in a while, and I'll probably just pull the fucking trigger on it, put on my credit card. Is the Super Mario Brothers 4K from 1993?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Umbrella
I'll
has
have
like
them.
this box set, and it's like a big chunky box with like
It's like
it has
$80 or something.
no, it's like 100 like the import.
Oh, wow.
But now we've got the tariffs. I have no idea how about that. I have a shipment, I have a package coming in from China. I don't even know what the tariffs are for China. I'm like, God damn it. I should probably just cancel it at this point, but I've already ordered it like nearly 2 months ago. And I'm like, all right.
Yeah, you might as well wait for it. If you waited 2 months for it, then it's might as well.
Yeah, I didn't know that it was coming in from China. They did. I bought one of those things off of Facebook ads. It was, caught my interest.
Mhm.
And then they're like, yeah, you can order it. I paid for the expedited shipping. It's like ships in 3 days. And then it's been like, I
3
bought
months.
it September 6th, and it's in Whittier, California right now, which I think is Mo's house.
Yeah.
And just FYI, the Full Tilt Boogie thing is on YouTube in its entirety
Okay, what is Full Tilt Boogie?
from dusk till dawn.
Okay, let me look this up here.
Yeah, I mean,
Cool.
it's
Just a few more minutes. I'm making pops some food.
it's
Oh wow, fucking hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a little mini skit. Like right, it starts off after they show a trailer. And then George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino pretending that they can't find the set from Dusk Till Dawn and they're lost backstage.
nice.
And then it goes into sorry to cut you off.
Yeah,
It
that's
goes
okay.
into like the strikes. The what do you call it? The what is it called? When you work with union strikes
Yeah.
that shut down the movie and the crew like jumping ship and claiming that they're being mistreated and stuff like that and all kinds of stuff.
Interesting.
Is it a good documentary?
I mean, if for a movie that like you already know that you kind of like, it's easier to get through it. It's entertaining. Even Harvey Keitel's pretty weird about it. He's like, I never agreed to this. And he does it in character. Like he's just like a weirdo that like, he kind of like finally agreed to be on camera, but he was kind of like standoffish about it. But yeah, then it goes through the whole thing with like George Clooney's first movie, so extras like talking about like how like he's becoming a movie star, and yeah, it's pretty good.
Man, I still remember like when I was at my buddy's house and his brother brought home From Dusk Till Dawn. So we just all like sat in the room and just popped it in and watched it. Like, holy shit. Because his parents were like super Christian.
Yeah.
So we had to like shut the door and like lock it. And like, all right, guys, let's do this shit. And it was just sat there going like, this is the greatest movie I've ever seen.
Sleepovers at my buddy's house. That's how I saw a bunch of cool shit.
That's why
Basically, yeah.
That's why I love movies, though. It doesn't matter because, and I've said this to Matt and I've said this to other people before. Movies are the one thing, amongst other things. Movies are the one thing that are memories. And put that on a t-shirt, by the way. But it's in all seriousness, movies are memories. Because the first time you go to see a film, whether it's a brand new release or it's a re-release of a film or whatever, and you've never seen it before. I mean, like, there are films I wish I had seen in theater. For example, The Dark Knight, I never saw in theaters. I've seen the movie 25 times. I never saw it in theaters. But you remember everything about that experience. You remember the day, it came out. You remember who you went with. You remember what theater you went to. You remember it was a loud crowd. Did they cheer? I mean, I'm sure all of us have the first experience of going to see Endgame, and it's like how
No
loud
Way
that
Home.
crowd was and everything else. And it's,
Oh,
or
yeah.
No Way Home or whatever. And that's why I love movies. Because
I will say, real quick though, I just want to bring this
Yeah.
one up here. Music Man here says, "From Dusk Till Dawn 2, Texas Blood Money is not bad either. Not as good as the original, but not horrible." Dude, it has the biggest cock tease of a cold open of any movie ever.
Oh, what's that?
Okay, so this movie, when I turned 17, the night on my birthday, this movie had just come out on home video. So my friends and I, we went to the club because back when we used to go clubbing in Portland when you could. We went out, we did that all night long, got fucking contact high, everything else. Went and got Taco Bell. Went back to my buddy's place, popped in the movie. It opens up. It's an elevator. Bruce Campbell and Tiffany Amber Thiessen are in the fucking elevator. And I'm going like, yo, fucking Bruce Campbell's in this movie? Kelly Kapowski's in this movie? Oh, shit, yeah. Then they both fucking die in like the opening of the movie, and then it's Robert Patrick after that. You
I've never
follow
watched the sequels.
dude.
I gotta pick
The
this
first
out.
one, the
Just like
second
that
one
Will
is not
Ferrell
bad.
movie.
It's not bad when they
Wow.
go back to the titty twister and Danny Trejo is back as the bartender, even though he was killed in the original film. But the titty twister looks like some fucking like late 80s neon heavy bar. It in no way in no way looks like what it was from the first movie. It's really funny, but it's a cock tease opening of that movie.
Interesting. Oh, yeah.
Kind of like the Will Ferrell movie.
But yeah,
with
no,
Rock and
that's.
Sam Jackson.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, you remember who you were
Oh, wait,
with and what you were
What was
doing.
that, CJH?
The other guys, the movie that started with The Rock and Sam Jackson.
Yeah, well, they were in it for more than they were in it for more than just like a cameo. Like they were there for an extended thing. Because I was on the cruise ship. They were showing the other guys, Bewitched, Talladega Nights. So there's a bunch of Will Ferrell movies that we were watching on the cruise ship, and we watched a lot of the other guys. And Sam Jackson and The Rock just dying in the first couple minutes is pretty funny.
Well, you know what other movie did that? I mean, well, it's considered the source back in the day was Executive Decision. You remember that?
Yeah.
With Steven
Dude,
Seagal?
I was so pissed. I was so pissed when I first saw that movie.
So you
'cause-
got to give back. But so Executive Decision was, I want to say 98. Don't quote me on the year. And it was
97,
about
98, somewhere
97,
in there.
97. Let's put it this way: Seagal was at his height, and it was about a hijacking. And Kurt Russell and Seagal were special forces, and so they get on the plane, and you're thinking, "Oh, all right, Steven Seagal's gonna kick some ass." Spoiler alert! And the first 20 minutes, he gets killed.
Dude, he
And
gets
you're like,
killed like in a fucked up way too.
What?
Because like,
Fuck.
because
Wasn't he hanging out of an airplane or something?
Yeah,
like that, or a
because
stealth-
they basically bring up a stealth fighter or something to like bridge underneath like the plane, and like Kurt Russell gets up and like Seagal is following, and then like something happens, and the ladder basically like that containment
Breaks.
unit breaks, and then you just see him like fucking just get sucked out.
Yep.
And then like you're like,
And
well,
it's worse. It's much worse than Eraser. Let's put it that way.
and who was in Eraser?
No, I'm talking about. So there was that scene in Eraser where the guy gets kicked into the, or he gets sucked into the plane.
it's been a while since I've seen that.
Yeah.
I
Or
just
talking
remember the
about how
guy
he
get,
died.
I just remember the
Howie
guy
Howard.
getting killed by the alligator.
Yeah.
That was cool. Eraser's
yeah,
a solid
so-
movie. It's a solid
There,
film.
there's been some other movies that have tried, like, attempted to do that. Like, has anybody seen Once Upon a Time in the West?
No.
No.
Oh man, it's like the awesomest freaking western. It's a must see. I challenge, if you love Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, watch Once Upon a Time in the West. But the cold open was supposed. It starts off with a group of bandits that approach a train station, and for like 10 minutes, you watch these guys wait and kind of fiddle around with stuff around the place, train station, and it's quiet, but the sound effects of the train station filling in for what there's no music. And then the train finally pulls up, and Charles Bronson gets off the plane, and there's a quick draw, introducing in character. But the random bandits that he kills were supposed to be Eli Wallach, Lee Van Cleef, and Clint Eastwood originally, and it was designed for them, but they couldn't do it, and they're supposed to
Wow.
get killed off in the opening.
Yeah.
You know, like one of the funnier cameos.
What I
is
miss? I just
Tom-
came back.
we were talking about movies and like cameos and whatnot. You know, Tom Cruise is in Young Guns.
Is he?
Really?
Never
Yeah.
seen that one.
Yeah, Tom Cruise is in Young
I
Guns.
love Young Guns.
In the
Young Guns,
shootout,
too.
in the shootout in the house at the end of the movie, Tom Cruise is one of the guys shooting at the house.
Oh,
Like he was
No
on set. He
shit.
was on the lot that day. This is what I remember happening. He was on the lot that day and like was walking by and then was like, "Hey, can I get in on the action or something?" And I'm like, "All right,"
That's
and like
hilarious.
it's also kind of like how Arnold Schwarzenegger ended up in The Rundown, in the opening of The Rundown.
yeah.
Was he happened to just be walking across the lot. Peter Berg saw him and was like, "Hey man, like you want to be in this scene?" And he's like, "Okay, but we have to do it right now." And so they shot that scene.
Do they get credited for that kind of stuff?
He's not credited in the movie at all. It's completely uncredited.
What about the Tom
I'm sure
Cruise
their
guy?
agent gets pissed, but it's Arnold Schwarzenegger, so
I don't
Yeah,
even think. I
well,
mean, maybe
that's like
not.
That's like Statham, right? In
Statham. In Collateral.
Yeah.
Dude, oh my god, when I saw Collateral, I remember going to I saw a sneak preview of it, and I'm watching, and I'm so excited to see this film, and then all of a sudden here pops up fucking Statham, right, and he's dressed like the Transporter,
yeah.
and this is maybe a year after Transporter 2, I think, or maybe the same year as Transporter 2 or some shit. I forget what year Transporter 2 came out, like 03 or 04,
Yeah.
and then like all of a sudden I'm like, wait, hold up. Is this connected to is Transporter in this fucking movie? It was like what
Yeah.
the fuck? It was God.
It's strange. Like Tom Cruise, if he loves your movie, he'll just give you a random call and just talk to you about your movie. Like Snyder said that he called him up and just asked him how he made 300 and just wanted to pick his ear off it.
Well,
He says
see,
he
Tom
normally does that.
Cruise, This is the fascinating thing about Cruise. So, of course, he started in 1980 in Taps, and I think he did something earlier than that. But he had two careers, okay? The first half of his career, okay, he's always said this. He wanted to learn everything about the business, okay? And, of course, in 83, he gets the big break with Risky Business. And then you look at everything he did from 1980 to 1996, okay? The thing is that Top Gun wasn't the best movie he did. That established him as an action star. The Color of Money is one of his greatest films. Not to mention he's working with the legendary Paul Newman and Martin Scorsese. Okay. Then on top of that, okay, you go through and he does all of this stuff. And you're right, if he likes your film, but he wanted to learn everything about it. So what ends up happening is that, of course he does Rain Man in 89 and then, moving on. So when Mission Impossible comes out in 95, okay, no, it wasn't 95. Anyways,
96,
in the 90s,
it was 96.
96, thank you. So what ends up happening is that he wants to start his own production company. And by this time, he's worked with guys like Spielberg and Scorsese and Paul Newman, these legendary people in the business. And he was sitting down to actually talk to, he had dinner with Spielberg. And he wanted to do something. And he's like, you know what, I can't do it. And Brian De Palma comes in and says, so anyways, Paramount opens the library up and says, well, what can we do? And at this time, right around this time, you had movies like, I mean, they weren't good, but call it for what it was. You had Beverly Hillbillies, you had the Flintstones come out, you had a couple of other TV shows that were turned into movies. He's like, I want to do Mission Impossible. Ethan Hunt was never in Mission Impossible as a character. That was a completely made up character. De Palma, of course, ended up doing The Untouchables, Scarface, whatever. He's like, yeah, I absolutely want to do it. He starts it with his agent, Paul Wagner. The first film, he doesn't take a salary because, they're thinking, oh my God, it's Tom Cruise. We can't have him get injured, whatever. He forgoes it for the insurance. And then, of course, it's like a neo-noir thriller. And it takes off, of course. And, Mission 2, of course, John Woo does it. He worked it. By the way, that hanging on the cliff was, he had very little protection doing that. But John Woo had just come off doing Face Off, Broken Arrow, so he was your guy. Bombs. I won't say bombs.
I don't think it bombed.
Okay.
It failed.
It failed.
It tried
miserably.
so hard to be a John Woo movie.
I mean, yeah, and so
with like the pigeons and the dual wielding
and
guns
so,
on the bikes and
like they did the mask rip off like 8 times. I counted. Anyways, but from that point on, it just Mission 3 with J.J. Abrams. Hard to believe that was his directorial debut. I mean, of course he did Alias and a couple other things, but still, and the rest is history.
My phone's overheating, so I got to take off.
Yeah, I got to end it in a few minutes because I got to head to the
nice
store
talking
before.
To you, Fourth. But anyways,
yeah. Good night.
But yeah, so I mean that's Tom Cruise, and it's crazy. I'm really
Tom Cruise. He, the guy just loves movies and shit.
He is a genetic machine. That's what he is.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, what you need are more people like him to do things on like at cost. You know what I'm saying?
That's and why then, they're not going to continue. I mean, there were rumors where. I would be shocked, floored, and flabbergasted if Paramount even wants to touch another Mission Impossible.
No,
because the bar is set so high that anything like that. But I'll tell you one thing.
Not only is it set so high, it's also insanely expensive. But that has a lot to do with just COVID.
Movie, and it's like it's not going to make it. I will say one thing though, Glenn Powell that is going to have, I mean. He's got, Glenn Powell, Monica, all these people. I think Tarzan Davis, whatever his name is, he was in Top Gun Maverick, okay? And he was in one of the new Mission Impossible movies, or both of them, the last 2 of them. So, I mean, they're set as far as roles and everything else. But I'm torn. I was watching an interview with McQuarrie, I don't know, about 6 months ago, maybe even this last year. And the interviewer asked, so do you have Top Gun 3 cracked? Asked McCrory this, and he's like, yeah. And I'm like, I really don't want to see Top Gun 3.
I haven't even seen Top Gun 2.
Yeah, no.
I don't know anybody who has.
Oh, it's a fucking incredible movie.
That's what I hear. I hear it's really good.
It's better than the first one. I mean, I put it... For me personally, there's only about 7 or 8 sequels that are better than the original. Empire Strikes Back, Godfather Part 2, Captain America: Winter Soldier, The Dark Knight. I put it in that category.
What about Terminator 2?
But that being said, I don't want to see a Top Gun 3. Terminator 2's in there too. But I just don't want to see Top Gun 3. Because the way it ends, and I'm not going to spoil it, but the way it ends is perfect. And yeah, I don't want to see it, but nonetheless, that's Tom Cruise in a nutshell.
But will you see it if it does come out? If it happens to be made,
it's going to be years from now, and Cruise is probably going to be in his 70s. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I don't see it being made, Mo. And the reason I say that is because he has so many other projects that he's working on. He's working on something with Les Grossman, the Les Grossman character. He's working on a Days of Thunder 2 movie. He's got this new space movie coming out with the director of Roma. I forgot his name off the top of my head.
Doug Liman?
What Academy Award winner. He's trying to do Top Gun 3, and then you're talking about scheduling because you need to get a Glenn Powell back. You need to get, all these people back. So by the time it comes out, you're probably looking like 2035, if you're lucky. And then the script's got to get
we
written and
survived that
everything
long.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he wants to do it, but realistically, he's the type of actor that needs to have everything done practically. And if you want to really watch something, watch the making of Top Gun Maverick and whatever else. I just don't see it being made. There's a better chance of him doing Days of Thunder 2 than Top Gun Maverick. That 3. That
I
would
just
be,
want. I don't know if we need Edge of Tomorrow too, but I would like to see
I
something
totally
like
forgot
that.
about Edge of Tomorrow
Oh,
too.
speaking of that, Matt, did you see the trailer for the animated version of that?
No.
I
Oh,
sent-
all you
I
need
think I
is
sent
isn't
that
it all
to
you, isn't it like all you need is kill or whatever it is?
Yeah, the original.
It's an
yeah.
anime. Yeah. I know. It's an anime thing.
No, I don't know. I mean, what you think of the trailer? Or did you see it or not?
No, I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
well,
I mean,
I'm not gonna push you to see it. I'm not Jess. Okay.
No,
The
it's
last-
honestly like it depends on when I get sent something. If I get a wrap back around to checking it out, you know what I mean? It's just kind of like, stuff happens, you know.
The
yeah,
last
just don't
thing
watch
I'm gonna
Planet.
say
Just don't
is
watch that Planet Cutie stuff.
the last thing
Yeah,
I'm going to
Jess sent
say
you.
is that in the next, we better appreciate what we have right now, because Cruz is 63, but we're going to lose so many people in the next 5 to 10 years that, we're going to lose. I know Morgan Freeman's close to 90. Clint Eastwood, he's been directing for it. He's 93. We've just
Jeez.
lost Hackman this last year. We're going to lose Scorsese. We're going to, don't get me wrong. I don't have a Deadpool with these guys. I'm just saying. But we're going to lose Spielberg.
How old is Morgan Freeman?
I want to say he's 83.
Like in the next 10 years, we're gonna lose like Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford's another one.
We're gonna lose Morgan Freeman. We're gonna lose, Michael Caine. We're gonna lose.
Wait, Michael Caine's still alive?
Michael Caine's still alive. He's actually coming out of retirement to, I think, work on something. Oh no, he's coming out of retirement to work with Vin Diesel on The Last Witch Hunter 2.
Okay, I thought you were going to say you were working with the Fast and the Furious.
They're going to make it Dark
He's
Knight
88 to
4.
answer your question, Mo. He's 88. So within the next 5 to 10 years, you're going to lose all these people. And this has been the real, Coppola too. For what it's worth.
Lucas, Spielberg.
These are the guys, these are the giants of the industry. And when we look back in 20 and 30 years and say, oh, remember those people? These are the people that started. Without a Mean Streets, we don't get De Niro. Without a Serpico, we don't get Al Pacino. Without a Heat, we don't get, the coffee shop scene with Michael Mann. All of these things. And I think that I hope, as movie fans and everything else, whether the theaters are dying or not, I really hope that we all, the next time you watch a movie with these guys in it, appreciate it, take light of it. Because once they're gone, we're always going to have their movies to come back on. Daniel Day-Lewis is coming out of retirement to work with his son to do that.
I hope we have enough time to get a Lethal Weapon 5, for God's sakes.
No,
Danny Glover in a wheelchair.
Dude, look, I was reading today that they're shooting the back-to-back of the Passion of the Resurrection of the Christ, part 1, part 2. And apparently like each movie is going to have a budget of like $200 million.
Jesus.
Like or something like that.
Money back?
Though,
if it's possible.
That's not an award. Look,
this time is personal.
It's
Jesus with the shotgun.
It's more of a monumental film. Remember what The Passion did? South Park's mocked and everything else, but look at what it did.
Dude, I remember my parents bought a bootleg version of The Passion, and everybody in my family came over to the house just to watch the fucking thing. We had a sleepover with like couple of aunts, couple of uncles, all my cousins, like watching the fucking thing on a small TV.
We
Yeah,
did
but that was
that.
a
We did
monumental
that
film for its
at my
time.
friend's house. We just had an afternoon where we watched it, and everyone just like, all right, guys, here's the cigarettes, here's your lighters, here's the ashtrays.
Yeah.
Let's go. And we just all sat there watching this movie and like chain smoking the entire time. We like hotbox this like small apartment. You know, like, all right, I'll never watch that movie again. I don't have a reason.
It's a snuff film. That's all it was.
Yeah, I'd rather watch 8mm again. You know,
There's,
I watched 8mm when I was young, and I was like, "What the fuck was that?"
you know, this is why I always talk about movies like this. It's about the here and now, and it's about the 10 or 20 years from now. I mean, we're gonna look back. We look back at The Passion and like, yeah, it's a snuff film type of thing, but there is a deeper. Not that I'm getting all spiritual, religious, but there's a deeper meaning to it. There's a reason why this was done the way it was done, and this is the one story, for better or for worse, that is everybody wanted to see. All the Christians and everything else, of the billion plus Christians we have on this earth, want to see a sequel. They know the
Here's the
story.
thing. Like when it comes to the first Passion, it's not that I was raised in a highly Catholic, devout Catholic family. It's not more like we want to watch it. It's like we need to watch it. You know,
Exactly.
it was.
Yeah.
It's like
It's a religious
it's
feeling.
like you're supposed to take something from it, and like, dude, I was a kid when did that come out? Like
2005.
2005.
2004, 2000. It came out
2004,
February
yeah.
2004.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I mean,
dude, I didn't. By that time, I was mostly disconnected from the faith, and I'm like, why am I being forced to watch this?
Were there any Christians that were like, that's not exactly like the book?
It's like I remember
Holy
like,
fuck.
why we watched what happened?
Wait. So Stranger Things series finale is going to be in theaters on
That's
New
okay.
Year's Day. You can
No
go
way.
see Stranger Things season 5 finale, the series finale, on the big screens.
well, it's a series finale. It's not a season
big-
finale.
Yeah, but
big
this is what they
name
should have done for
actors.
Game of Thrones. They should have had
Yeah, but
Game of Thrones.
So
Fina-
but here's the thing about Game of Thrones.
I don't
Originally,
know.
Game of Thrones was supposed to be 10 episodes. Then what they said is, okay, well, we're going to knock it down to 8 episodes. But
7.
each episode is going to be like an hour and 15 minutes type of thing. And for those people that were acutely aware of the material and everything else, they were waiting for what was going to happen. Yes, you had that epic fight scene in one of the episodes, but all in all, it was, personally speaking, and it's been a minute since I've seen it, I own every single one of the seasons of Game of Thrones. I love the show, except the 8th season. And that's not to say because I didn't like it and buy it. It's just that it was like, okay. Yeah, to your point. Now, if they had done this for Game of Thrones, it would have. But that was the thing too. The ratings for that show were so high, and HBO was at its peak at that time. Okay, that you had shows like The Wire that was still on, Game of Thrones, all of these other shows, and I mean, so it didn't need to be. Okay, so have you seen Game of Thrones, Matt? Have you watched the whole series?
Yes, I'm one of the few that defends season 8.
Okay. Would you have paid money to go see it?
Yes.
Okay.
Why
I mean,
not?
you were technically
I mean,
paying money for the subscription that you had or whatever else, but that was a different thing back then. But, I don't know. I don't think if they had done that now, do you think The Sopranos would have done well?
No, because The Sopranos wasn't a cultural phenomenon like Game of Thrones was.
Really?
As good as Sopranos was,
As good as this,
it's
I mean,
not
I
comparable
never watched
to Game
the
of
show. I
Thrones.
only watched the final episode, but from what I understand, The Sopranos was a fantastic show. Except that last, I mean, there were a couple of shows out there, The Sopranos being one of them, Dexter, the original series, which
The Wire,
whatever. That
Yeah, but those
people didn't like the
shows,
finale.
but those kind of shows are not designed. They're not cinematic enough for like the big screen. You know, like Game of Thrones, Stranger Things, Shogun, fucking like
I could
not
see
even
Shogun, sure.
like Dexter. Fuck no, should not be on the big screen. It
No,
looks like
I
it was
would
made for
never
TV.
ever said Dexter.
But-
I mean, it was just
But
making.
but here's the thing. Here's where because CJH is here and he likes Dexter. But the big thing where they fucked up though was IMAX like invested, I think it was around like $70 million to help Disney pay for the first 2 episodes of The Inhumans to be shot in IMAX.
Oh, wow.
So they could put it on the IMAX screens.
Oh,
And
wow.
it was terrible.
Yeah.
Right? It was
That-
terrible.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
And,
Yeah.
and it was like it was so fucking bad. And so I think that would be one of the things that killed it because IMAX lost a lot of money by having like guaranteed, dedicated 2 weeks to run that show.
Right.
So
Yeah,
that's
I
all it is.
mean-
But anyway, I do gotta get going.
Yeah,
It's
Thank you
midnight.
for having me on.
And no, thanks you guys. The Mando
care.
2 finale would have been Mando 2 opening in theaters would have been great. Anyway,
I could see. I'll be honest with you though. I mean, I haven't watched I stopped and I started the Mando's second season. That finale would have been epic on a big screen. With just the last 15 minutes.
dude,
I mean, you watch
the
the
Book
whole
of
thing.
Boba Fett finale would have been great on the big screen. Like how wild that shit was. Like here's the thing, even more so than the finale of season 2, the opening of season 2, where
Yeah.
you got Mando and Cobb Vanth, and they are they're fighting the crate dragon. And like if you even watch it on Disney Plus, at one point they have the black bars, and then when they go to fight the crate dragon at the end, the bars open up like you're watching an IMAX.
Oh, that's
Like
that's cool.
they fucked with your brain
Yeah.
to make it feel like it's a lot bigger than it was. Like the scope was massive for the season 2 premiere. I think that one would have been like wild as fuck because it also ends at the very end of that with the reveal of Boba Fett.
Mm.
Because we see him, like looking at like everything. So it's like,
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway,
I think there's a lot they could do, and there's a lot that they're gonna have to do
Yeah.
in order to kind
Yeah.
of make it a bit better. So,
Man,
all right,
that's
everybody.
probably-
Yeah,
That's probably what's going to end up happening is you're going to see a lot more of this stuff going to theaters to try and get people excited about it. But anyways, thank you for having me on.
yeah. Thank you. I'll chit chat with
Yeah.
y'all.
Same thing.
Uh,
Thanks, Matt. When are you returning to Hollywood? Your Hollywood return?
When I'm coming to California?
No, when
Sure,
you
no,
become a big
because
movie
my-
director.
Yeah, no, I don't know. My girlfriend's trying to get me to go to California. She's like, I need you to go down there. I'm like, figure it out. No, I don't know.
I'll like I said, if you show up in LA County, I'll drive you anywhere, dude.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm gonna need you to
gotta
drive
give me like a
right-
heads up. Because I gotta
That's
clean the
okay.
car.
I'm just gonna need you to take me right over to the immigration office, and I can just turn you in for the reward.
Yeah, we have to split it though.
I'm turning you in for the. Okay, I guess so. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm the one driving. Why the hell would I willingly drive myself to the ICE fucking detention?
It
center?
would be. I'll tell you this right now. It would be the most insane thing ever.
It'd be a
nobody would-
movie.
Nobody would ever expect it. I'm turning myself in for the reward.
Yeah, it'd be a movie. It'd be like that. Jason. What's it? Jason? No, the Melissa McCarthy identity theft movie.
Oh yeah, that one.
Jason
Yeah.
Bateman, what are you looking for?
Just go in dressed as Jesus.
They'll never suspect a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I did.
Well, I can pass off as a white guy.
Wait, wasn't the Gen V finale? Isn't that tonight? Is it Gen V season 2 finale? When is that? Okay, hold on.
Yeah,
Let's see.
no
Is
idea.
it here? It's October 22nd. Wait, tonight? Is it tonight or is it right now? Hold on. Because if fucking if I can watch Gen V right now, then I would
He's gonna drop what he's doing and say, "Okay, you guys, bye."
I don't
Like,
still fuck up your sleep though, Matt.
let me see. Let me log in.
No,
Dude,
he doesn't
have you
care
guys
about
seen
that.
have you guys watched Gen V at all yet?
No, I've heard it's
No.
fantastic now.
Not interested in watching anything with the boys.
Is
Oh shit.
Isn't it like more?
Did it drop?
then
Did the
the-
whole thing drop?
No,
Fuck
I
yes. Okay, that's what
isn't
I'm
it, like,
watching.
mean more.
I'm not much of a Garth Vanis
R-rated
kind of
than The
guy.
Boys?
You know?
Wait, okay, I can't. You guys got one person at a time.
Go ahead, Fiji.
Isn't it like more R-rated than The Boys?
Oh, dude, the last episode had so much dick in it. Like this whole season of Gen V season, there hasn't been one pair of boobs, but there's been so much penis.
That explains MAGA.
No,
That's
dude,
about a
no,
bunch of sausage fest.
no. Hold up. Gen V ties into where The Boys is going, but it does it in a completely cool way. Like the characters are actually like decent, like they're not like great people, but they're like decent people. And so
Redeemable people, right?
yeah, redeemable people, definitely. And then they're caught up. The thing is, though, they're all caught up in the VOT machine. So it's like where they're going with season 2, the fucking bad guy for season 2 is insane. Like the actor is like Hamish Linklater is playing the bad guy in season 2. So fucking good.
You know what? I wish I could
Anthony-
understand why people like The Boys and all that stuff, but I can
Because
never
it's
really get
cynical
into it.
and nihilistic, and it points out the flaws in
And
superhero
that
love
explains
culture.
why I don't like Garth Ennis's writing.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, but
God.
they took the concept of what The Boys is and they changed it. Like in the show, Queen Maeve doesn't give birth to a black baby.
Okay, yeah, that
All right,
does
it
sound like
doesn't-
something Garth Ennis would write.
It is something that he wrote. It's in the comic book,
He's a piece of
right?
shit. That's what he
Like
is.
the thing with The Boys is that The Boys works because it holds up a mirror to not only our society for hero worship and the love for fucking superhero movies and shit. It does it.
Did
Yeah.
you go to
it's-
school with Garth Ennis, Matt?
No, it's a
Did you
good
shit-
show.
Are you a neighbor? Were you a neighbor for him?
No,
or
it's a
something?
good
That-
fucking show.
Well,
I don't know. You're
I-
sitting there
I-
going like, I don't like the way Garth Ennis writes, and I'm like, yeah, but he didn't write this at all. It's Eric Kripke, the guy behind fucking Supernatural.
oh, no wonder I don't like the show either. I don't
Well,
like that
I'm
one
not a
either.
big Supernatural fan, but it's fucking good. Yeah, Parallax is right.
Do you think
You always say that about
Anthony-
Parallax. You take Parallax's side more than
Yeah,
mine.
because I think I don't know the H Bart's connection. I gotta protect my friend's boy. You know how it is.
Do you,
gotta-
do you
know that
think
shit.
Anthony Starr could make a really good Reverse Flash?
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
I think
God.
I think Anthony Starr. Look, here's the thing: if you want to see a good Anthony Starr thing, no, dude, it's
Gonna say
rational. You're
Banshee.
so rational. You are so wrong. You are so wrong about that. The evil superhero trope got boring after season 2. There's a reason why Homelander and Omni-Man are more popular than Superman.
Oh, no, do not
It's
go
true.
there.
It's fucking
Do
true.
not
It's
go
fucking
there.
true. It's fucking true. It's fucking true.
You and your Garth Ennis brain types. You know Garth Ennis owns
I-
right. The only,
Oh my
the only
god, you
good-
do realize
Go
I
ahead.
do not read comics. What the fuck are you
know.
babbling about?
I'm talking about Preacher, the TV show.
Never watched it.
You like The Boys. You like that too.
I'm sure. No, I saw the first episode of Preacher. I thought it was okay.
Pretty good.
So
we do need like the Reverse Flash on the big screen though. Like it would be kind of like Green Goblin or the Joker.
Barry. I'm
Yeah,
the
yeah.
one who jerked you off.
I
Have you heard that? Have you heard that?
I
That
have.
one. That one's really fucking funny.
Oh,
so,
God.
Homelander and
he's
Omni Man
like a
are just copies of
psychopath.
General Zod and Black Adam. Yeah, but they're better.
Oh,
better.
God.
They're better. What? They're better.
I'll give you Omni-Man. That's the only one. I haven't seen whatever the other guy's name is.
Am I? I don't know if I'm gonna. I don't know when I'm gonna be able to go see Shelby Oaks. I feel kind of let down by it because if I recall correctly, when he raised the money to make the movie, he was like, "It's a point of view it's a found footage movie, and it's not actually a found footage movie." And it's getting kind of shit on. I've looked at some of the reviews are it's mid. A lot of it's mid. A lot of it is very tropey. I want to see it. I'm on like the press list for a lot of the promotional material, but they haven't sent me a screening link to watch it. And I'm just like, well, then I'm not gonna rush out. I know they played it last night. I know they played it last night. It was like the Cinemark secret movie, AMC secret movie. But I totally forgot that it was happening. And so, it looks okay.
I were tired anyway.
I was definitely tired, dude. My sleeping has been shit.
I can hear the bags under your eyes right now. That's how tired you are.
It's very, very sleepy. Although here's something kind of funny, and then I'll end it. I was looking around on a website where you can get movies. And I see a thread here popped up today, actually, from Dusk Till Dawn trilogy. Download the trilogy. I'm like, all right.
Goodness.
Because
Listen
apparently,
I'm
to
good. I'm good.
dude, Tamara Morrison is in Michael Parks, Tamara Morrison, and Rebecca Gayheart are in From Dusk Till Dawn 3. Okay. And if you don't
Okay.
know Rebecca Gayheart, then you have never seen Jawbreaker.
No.
Yeah. I like I've always
Kind of like
liked,
how you haven't seen Assault in Precinct 13. The
I
original one.
saw the Ethan Hawke one.
How's that one? I haven't seen it yet.
It was fine. It was a good action movie.
That's
Anyway.
it.
Dude, hold on. Rational. Yes, the writers of The Boys are scared to do some of the storylines. No, because the storylines suck. Like I've watched videos comparing the
Homelander.
original storyline in the comic
Don't.
to what they're doing in the show, and the show is like way better.
I still can't believe you're making me agree with you, Matt. Yeah, you're right. You're reasonable with that. I've read The
Dude,
Boys.
okay, hold on. Here, again, rational. Everything Homelander did in season 4 was predictable because it was setting up where season 5 is going. And that is very much something that is backed up by Gen V season 1 and Gen V season 2. So it's like Homelander kind of being like, again, like, remember how I say like Superman basically means all roads with him go to authoritarianism? That's what this is. That's the
Sounds
same
a
fucking
lot
thing.
Like
So, this is just the realistic version of a character. But anyway, I got to go to the store before they close.
All right,
so
go.
All
watch
right,
it.
yep, get
All right.
going, man.
Okay. Well, here's
Take it
you know
easy.
what? Fuck it. Here's the thing. If you guys want to keep talking, I can dip, and when you guys all dip, the stream ends. So if you guys want to keep going, that's fine.
I
Yeah.
had to dip
I don't
out.
know
I
if
had-
David can
games.
handle me.
Come on, Mel.
I had work.
All right, if
So,
David's down, I'm down because I got nothing to do.
Okay.
Okay. Well then, yeah, I'm gonna dip out, and then you guys keep going, and then when you all leave, it will shut down.
Watch the.
All right, man. You have a good night,
Okay.
Matt.
Just
Let me hear
please,
in a
Mo,
minute,
no
so.
N words, no N words.
No,
What
of
the
course.
fuck? I'm not RJ
That is true. Okay. Bye.
or Saki.
Wow. That's yeah.
Oh, she would
Yeah,
say
I-
that
I-
like
please,
with
he still
a
has to-
hard A at the end,
Yeah.
with a capital A.
No, I get it.
Hey, so
I have to
David,
go
David, I got
anyway.
a good movie question for you. Well, not like a really movie question, but like a story for like a trope for movies. What are your exact thoughts on the old the main character being older, like beyond the prime of his life? It's kind of like movies like The Dial of Destiny and all that stuff, or Logan. What do you feel about that kind of stuff?
Well,
That
I
kind
think
of
that,
movies.
Okay, good night, CGH. I think that, the simple fact of the matter is that they have the comic Old Man Logan. And so eventually, what ends up happening is that they wanted to make this as authentic as possible. And so, I mean, Logan is considered to be arguably one of the best superhero movies of all time.
Mhm.
So I think
Even though it completely went off the rails with the Old Man Logan story, it
so
told his own
you
story,
have
and it was
to
pretty good.
deviate you can never always bring it to you can never always do it exactly like it is.
Well, I mean, of course,
Sometimes you'll
because
have
this
to
was
make
Fox.
changes
Remember, they didn't
here
have
and
the
there.
rights to the Hulk or the other story, the other
but-
characters to make
Yeah.
that Old Man Logan story. So, and like I said, like that, the Logan movie is great on its own, inspired by the Old Man Logan comic book
Yeah.
story.
I mean,
It's that it can stand on its own two legs.
yeah.
You
I
know?
mean, it was necessary. I think that, besides, I think Hugh Jackman, besides him coming back for, Deadpool and Wolverine,
Deadpool. Ugh.
he thought that was going to be it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, I want to do just this one last role and everything else. And so I don't have a problem with it. I think it's if you have a comic, if you have source material, to actually work with, and then you can tweak that source material, then you know what? I think that there's no problem with that. It's harder to make a Deadpool and Wolverine movie because it's while you have, the Loki, and everything else, it's harder to make that than it is a Logan because you're trying to reinvent stuff.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I
Okay, but
mean,
yeah, but the basic back to what I was questioning. I'm talking about like movies where we portray like the main character as an older version.
yeah,
Kind
I
of like I
mean,
said, like the Dial of Destiny, the last Bad Boys movie.
yeah, I mean,
Uh,
they're gonna age. They're always
we
gonna
were
age.
talking about the Lethal Weapon 5.
Yeah,
Like, can you imagine
yeah,
how
yeah.
old
I
those
mean,
they would be?
yeah.
That
So
kind of
that
stuff.
kind of film has a shelf life. I mean I mean, don't get me wrong. Lethal Weapon started the whole buddy cop franchise. It did. I
Hmm.
mean, that's a massive trope today. But at the same time, um, you can't put a Danny Glover or um,
Oh, Gibson.
a whatchamacallit, a Mel Gibson. Forget about their political things. You just can't do that because they're in their 70s type of thing. And it's like, okay, fine. I mean, that's like they're remaking again. They're remaking Miami Vice. Now,
Again?
but yeah,
Jesus
Michael
Christ.
Mann did a phenomenal job with that 20 years ago. I love that movie. They don't
Yeah,
need to remake it.
the one with Jamie
I
Foxx,
per
right?
Yeah, I personally believe they need to bring back Jamie Foxx and Colin Farrell and have them do it if they're willing to do it. But to put a Michael B. Jordan and somebody else in there is just it's no good. But
Yeah.
we'll see how that works. I mean,
I mean, you
Kaczynski's
can
on a
only go
roll
so
now.
far with these older characters. I mean, look at Beverly Hills Cop 5 also.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing.
I don't remember seeing that one.
Yeah, Beverly Hills Cop 4. But here's the thing. That would have never done well in the theaters. I'll just be
True.
honest with you. I mean, there's no way. In the 1980s, Eddie Murphy was the man. Eddie Murphy was a man. You look at his run he had, whether it was Beverly Hills Cop, whether it was 48 Hours, whether it was Trading Places, whether it was Coming to America, he was the man. And so, um, even Beverly Hills Cop 3, I think the second one's the best one out of the three. Okay. But to, put a Beverly Hills Cop 4 out there when he's no. So that's where, in the simple respect, streaming is going to be useful for that. So, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, because what I was thinking when we were talking. You and Matt were talking about the Mission Impossible franchise,
yeah.
and I was and that got me back to thinking because he's getting older and
Yeah, but
like
see
I
the
said,
difference
well,
between that, Cruise is in tip top shape. Tom
but
Cruise is in tip top physical condition. He
yeah,
can act
so that's what I'm saying. Like if they were to make a say to the final Mission Impossible with an older what's the name of the character? Ethan something? Dave?
a couple reasons. Number one, money. Paramount's not going to want to shell out another $300 million because that kind of money that kind of movie just isn't financially profitable for them. Number two, if you don't have Tom Cruise in the lead role, people aren't going to show up. Okay,
That's also
that's just a
true.
fact. And number three, the story. I mean, there's 5 things when it comes to a Mission Impossible movie that you have to have. One is the gadgets. 2 is the locations. The 3 is the set pieces, the action pieces. 4 is the story. And then 5 is the villain. And so when you have all of those 5 things, it works. And that's why, these last mission movies, it worked. And it was a good send off. But, what do you do? I mean, you can't
Yeah.
kill them off. Okay. Even though people would say, oh, it's a sacrifice, you can't do that. So
I mean, if you remember, have you seen the last Daniel
I
Craig
have,
Bond
yeah,
movie?
I
That was a
saw,
pretty
yeah, I
good
saw.
ending.
No, I look, I like No Time to Die. I like the first two acts. I didn't believe the third act for a minute. I didn't believe the
I
third act for a
enjoyed the
minute.
entire movie. It's
Yeah,
I
don't get me wrong.
I'm biased because I came into the 007 movies late. I
Mhm.
did the only thing I watched. I think it was like the one with Halle Berry before.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
I
No,
saw bits of GoldenEye, but that was just parts of it. But like after what Tomorrow Never Dies, is that the one I'm
yeah,
thinking about?
yeah,
I got in immediately jump started with Daniel Craig, which is my first Bond that I saw through the entirety of all of his movies.
yeah.
And
So
like I said, I'm being biased. I enjoy all his movies, even the crappy Quantum of Solace movie.
yeah.
I hold a lot of that on high regard.
Well, here's the thing. Casino Royale was a fantastic entry point
Yes, it
back
was.
into Bond. It was just because, it was a brand new Bond. It was a remake. It just worked.
It was bare bone. That's what I liked about it. Like
Well,
almost
Quantum
not a lot of
is,
gadgets.
yeah,
Just fists,
Quantum was
all
okay.
that stuff.
Skyfall
Eh,
was perfect.
this-
And the one problem that they did was they made it linear. So they made it linear. And so Spectre, was okay. And then they tried to connect in No Time to Die and it didn't work. And so, I mean, even Craig came back and said, yeah, I'm only going to do this for, $20 million, but I'd rather split my, cut my wrists because it just takes so much out of it.
yeah.
And so that's why No Time to Die, even getting postponed as much as it did, it didn't really, you know, um, it was okay, but it wasn't as good as it could have been. But you know, that's going to
I
be
guess that's
interesting to
why I
see
liked
where
it the
MGM
way you
goes.
described it. It's the Daniel Craig Bond movies were linear.
Yeah,
I guess that's probably why I liked it,
yeah,
so I
and
can
that's
keep
why,
up with the story.
and that's the thing. James Bond is meant to be. It's like an episode of your favorite, whatever.
Like a
It's its
serial.
own thing, right? Now, sure, it can end on a cliffhanger, and if you want two different, that's fine. Don't make all three or four or five of them connected. That's where they tried to have the first villain connect all the way with the fifth villain, and it didn't work because there were so many inconsistencies that you're like, really? I don't believe that. And the minute that the audience loses disbelief, it's all over. It's all over. So, but yeah, we'll see. All right, Mo.
Yeah,
I'm
because
actually gonna.
like I said, uh,
I'm,
final thing.
I'm gonna
Uh,
actually. It's 12:10 here, and I gotta get some
yeah,
sleep. So
it's 12:20
I'm gonna
here.
check out. Uh, I will talk
Um,
to you later.
all right, man. You have a good
Take
one.
care of
Have a good
yourself.
night.
You think?
I no promises on that. Well, I am all alone, just like in real life. All right, y'all have a good night.